I am tired of Wang, and I've got 6 more hours of Wang, so no good. Hi everybody, this is highly exasperated Alex. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I'm joined by 2 kids in one big trench coat, Kirby.
Hey.
And Matt.
Howdy.
Here at Real Gamerscore, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and Turbo Squid's quality content. This week we talk about tops and bottoms, getting tired of Wang and grinding to completions. But first, here's the song of the week.
Down in the boards, I rank again. More and more score, I just can't get much more. I could never top it. They want to get my... They want to earn my gold score completions. I'm in a bind, just a matter of time before you beat me. It's alright, ain't got no time to cry. That'll do.
Okay, that's good. I got that.
I have another verse, but I'm just, you know what? I'm trying to cut them down too much, you know. Especially because I was going to do the guitar noises myself, so we'll edit that in later. It's fine.
No, that was...
I just got the song.
Yeah.
I think I got the song.
That's a weird pause.
Yeah,
and then it happened. And
it is that song. Yeah.
Where do I know that pause? Like, it was weird. It was, where do I know that pause from? Yeah.
I'm sure me miming guitar helps.
Yeah, yeah. It totally... I could see the solo. I could hear it. Like,
yeah. So you probably don't even have to put the music in. People will just get it straight away, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, music's absolutely going into that one. even if it's just the solo,
fair enough.
Because it's a, I don't know if it's a super iconic solo, but it's recognizable.
Definitely.
Well, if you do know what that song is, you can enter the Song of the Week competition. You can send your answer to the Real Gamerscore account on True Achievements. That's all one word, Real Gamerscore with a 5 instead of an S in the score. Send there what your guess of the song and artist is.
What was last week's song?
Last week's song was a little while ago. Was it me with the Pokemon theme song?
It was you with the Pokemon theme song. No, last week's song. Wasn't a while ago. Last week's. It's only been a week. This is episode 73.
It's only been a week. Yeah, absolutely. We've been here the whole time.
Last week was 72. This week is 73. That's how the numbers work. We don't jump to 75 as if it's 3 weeks later. I mean, come on, Alex.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. What am I talking about? But yes, we'll draw... What is it? Next week we're going to draw...
Next week, I just ran out of time trying to play games.
Yeah, too many humans falling flat all over the place, right?
Oh, there's actually a pretty good... we could probably talk about that later, but that's...
We will get into it.
That's
all right.
Funny moments.
Well, if you do want to come and talk to us, you can find a link to join our Discord at discord.io/realgamerscore. That's always active. You can get in there anytime you like and come and say hello. You can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/realgamerscore. As with the Song of the Week competition, we will also draw the random to-do list and Patreon draws on the next episode 74. But those, so obviously the Patreon is part of the Patreon giveaway is part of being part of the Patreon. Jeez, that's a mouthful, and I've worded that badly. If you're a patron, you are entered into the giveaway. It's a ID at Xbox game of your choice. The random to-do list, all you need to do to enter the random to-do list competition is have a random to-do list, earn 1 achievement in that, and we're going to answer a trivia question, but I don't think we have the draw.
I was super unprepared. No, I have nothing. Just get the achievement now.
Yeah, get the achievement on your random to-do list.
I will mail you this board game. Ruby Combat Ready. I will mail you the board game.
Oh, God,
So
Ruby.
you just have to name another game with the word Ruby in it. No.
Hang on a minute.
No, yeah,
What if
I get
there's
that.
like region variants?
Regional variant.
A Ruby JP or something. But yeah, so just get started. Get your one achievement in random to-do list. If you have just been thinking for the last 72 episodes, man, I need to get a random to-do list. Well, you can. You can do that anytime you like. Just send a message to Chin in Discord and we'll get you one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just making sure you saw me with my hand up. So, Freemhole has done his 2020 completion challenge that he always does. It's got 4 categories this time. So I sent a message over to offer up some prizes so that there is going to be prizes. And we decided not to announce it till the start of this year so no one could do some sneaky preloading beforehand.
Like you.
Like me. I can't win the prizes, obviously, because I'm doing it and I knew those prizes. That would be completely unfair. Otherwise, I would win them all. So there are 4 categories.
Press X to doubt.
His 4 challenges, rather. There's his different categories, 30 categories, an alphabet challenge, a genre challenge, and a random to-do list challenge. I'll put the link to the completion challenge in our Discord, but essentially there's going to be 5 prizes, 4 minor and a major. So, first person to submit to myself or Freem in each individual category. So if I got my random to-do list one done, send that off to him. As long as I'm the first person, I'll win a $15 gift card or around that price, depending on region. If you're the first person to submit all 4 categories, you will get a AAA game or whatever game of your choice. So
what are the 4 categories that you need to win?
So there's a category one, so it's things like a game that has 2 double letters in a row, so like the word bookkeeper, one that has an apostrophe in the title, one where the main character is a robot, main character's undead. There's a bunch of categories there. There's the alphabet, which is completing a game that starts with each letter of the alphabet. So X is reasonably difficult. Z should be easy if you have any zombie game whatsoever.
Zombie Army 4 comes out soon as well.
Yeah, but not that because that takes too long.
No, definitely that because awesome.
A genre challenge, which is completing games that have the genres that we're looking for, and the games can count for multiple genres. So, Far Cry New Dawn will have first-person shooter and open world. So that would count for both of those if those were genres we were looking for. And the random to-do list category, which is annoying to explain, but essentially on your random to-do list, you hopefully have 15 different games in spots 1 through 25. We need, 25 games in those spots. We're looking for, throughout the year, 15 completions, but each completion must be in a different spot. So if you use your number 1 spot in January, and it's not locked in until you submit, but you can't use the number 1 spot from future months. So if Human Fall Flat was my number 1 game, and I completed it in January, and then in February, Dark Souls 3 was my number 1 game, if I complete Dark Souls 3, because they're both in that number 1 spot, I can only use one of them. So we're looking for 15 unique spots from whatever month.
Because it's fortunate if over a couple of months a game appears in multiple spots, you can kind of pick.
You can pick or
where you
choose.
want it to go.
I mean, if you complete it in January, you're probably not going to have it show up in February because there's no more achievements to pick from it. But yeah,
but you might not do everything in the 1 month.
So
you might get lucky.
$15 for each first person in the category. You can only win a minor prize once. And if you win the major prize by completing all 4, you can't get a minor prize. So we want 5 different winners, 5 unique winners. So essentially prizes won't start getting given out till either the end of the year or when a major prize winner is done. Because if they've won the major, then we can go, okay, this person got this minor, etc., etc. So entries, you can submit them to either myself or Freem for verification, and we'll double check with the other person anyway. And I'll keep tabs on who came first, second, or whatever. I mean, after about third, I could stop caring because even if the other guy gets it, second place is going to take it. But yeah, it's my favourite competition of the year, even though it's a little challenge. And we're still going to be super lenient with the ruling. So I know if you can stretch something to fit into the definition, Freem's usually said, yeah, go for it. It's all a bit of fun. It's pretty much going to stay the same. I'm not going to be like, well, no, that's technically an android, not a robot, so it doesn't count for... No, I'm not going to do that. It's still going to be super lenient. It's just, it puts a little bit of fire under some people to get some completions done. I think that's it, yeah. No, I'm done. Carry on with your silly show.
Sounds like a big competition. It's a shame you can't win it all. You would have already won it all, right?
You would have preloaded the hell out of it.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I was preloading it until I went away, and then I had to rush to 800,000 and get 12 days done, so most of my preloads went out the window. I have, in January, completed 19 games.
It's pretty good. Considering we're, 7 days into it?
Yeah. Started 4, played 23, finished 19. We're getting there.
Okay, I've completed 5.
Yeah, I might have a couple in there somewhere.
Got one more sitting here in 20 minutes after the show's done.
Okay. All right, well, Matt, you were running away with the news this week. I saw you added these cards in here, so what's going on?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a light news week. Everyone's still on holiday. But a couple of things have happened. CES is happening this week. My boss is over there, and I'm very, very jealous. And so there was some Xbox Series X imagery shown at the AMD press conference. But it turns out that, the little renders and that sort of stuff they showed from it, they didn't get it from Microsoft. Apparently, they went to some other company and just made some fake ones.
Yeah, what was that? Turbo Squid.
TurboSquid.com.
I mean, if I was going for Microsoft information, I know I personally would go to turbosquid.com.
That's a well-known website that you definitely should go to.
Yeah, it seems super legit.
There are cars, there are characters, there are animals. I don't know why dragon is in character and not animal, but that's okay. Unicorn is in animal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And also clothing is in character, so...
No, they do say that clothing makes the man, right?
Yeah.
There's not really much else to the story except for the fact that just for some weird reason they were like, yeah, let's just do this thing on a big stage where people are going to report on it. Did they think people weren't going to ask questions? Like, what?
Yeah. Or that Microsoft wouldn't notice?
Yeah, exactly. Microsoft would be like, hey, where did you get that image that is totally not real? And 100% is our intellectual property.
Before it was figured out that it wasn't legitimate, the controversial thing was that in the back there was not USB-A ports, it was 2 USB-C ports, which meant you needed, presumably in the new controllers or whatever, USB-C to USB-C, or USB-C to anything, to
pretty
external
much.
hard drive. There was one USB-A port on the front, and I'm pretty sure that's the legitimate photo, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not 100% sure.
I just can't imagine what they were thinking.
Yeah. It looked really good.
It was. They did a great job with that fake trailer. It's up there with the Killzone. Was it Killzone 2? Stuff at E3 back in the day, where they were like, "Oh, this is definitely in-engine footage." And you're like, "Man, no game has ever looked that good."
Oh, speaking of in-game footage, have you seen the new trailers for Microsoft Flight Sim?
I have, actually. It looks pretty good.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Especially in 4K. That's unreal. If it's anywhere close to that, especially with... Oh, God, I got messages. Oh, God, Warren, go away. especially if with the X, if it's coming, wow, that looks so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a 4K TV. I know. Damn it.
I'm gonna need a better 4K TV.
I'll take your old one. Just ship it over.
Oh, cool. 12 days, 2020. Nice. I'm not even kidding. That's what he sent me.
Oh boy. All right. Well.
Are you leaking stuff on the show already?
Oh, I mean, there's a chance it doesn't happen, or that
as
someone wasn't expecting it for the 4th year in a row.
No, I'm sorry. The what? I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
What? What?
I've no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know if you're part of the joke or if you're being serious.
No, I'm serious.
Warren's
12 Days
talking about
Christmas?
12 Days Christmas for next year. Well, this year, I should say.
This coming up, this
okay.
December. He's
I
just sent
thought
to me
you-
the
okay.
tentative plan, so I can
I
start
thought
preloading.
I thought you were saying there was going to be another I thought
Oh.
it was an unrelated non-Christmas one.
Oh yes, surprise! 12 days of January.
I'm like
That famous one we all know.
Yeah, it's very popular. Okay,
12
all
days
right,
of
now.
Jesus. This is a good.
couple of
9
minutes in,
months of bills. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
back on
What do you-
track.
Why don't you get rolling with this second news story you've got?
Sure. So this next one is apparently there's going to be like a new Lord of the Rings game or something. I'm not sure. Apparently this was announced like just like super on the download that there's going to be a Lord of the Rings Gollum game, which I think is kind of interesting. I mean, like the first thing I think of is Styx.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Sounds like Sticks.
It does, which I really, as long as it doesn't have any broken achievements, I'll probably play it. But
Daedalic. What did Daedalic do? This is
Deponia Games, wasn't it?
it does
No,
ring a
they
bell.
They've
I
done
googled
proper
them
stuff.
just before because I'd never heard of them, but I think there was the Deponia Games.
Oh, okay, yes, you're right. Yes.
Because I thought I'd heard the name before, but I was like, couldn't place them.
Yeah, I think I played one of those.
Yep, Deponia. That's which then makes me wonder because everything they've done has been point and click.
Yeah, puzzle point and click games.
So is that maybe that's what we're getting here then?
Well, it sounds like a narrative-based adventure is what they said. So, I mean, it might end up being something like, what was it? That Planet of the Apes game, where it's just basically a movie that you make some decisions or something like that. Like, I'm not
That
expecting...
was really good though. So
I mean, I quite liked it. I mean, it got panned quite badly, but I thought
I
it was
don't know
alright.
why it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like,
interesting.
For what it was for a movie game, like as in a game where you're just playing a movie,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, I had an interesting story. Yeah, I thought it was fine.
This paragraph here makes me think it sounds kind of telltale-ish, but I might just be reading it out of context. But it says players will also have to make narrative choices through Gollum's clashing personalities that all lead to a final major decision. You'll have maybe 2, 3, or 4 conflicts per chapter that lead to a final decision point. At this final decision point, it will be harder to pick Smeagol, for example, if you always fought for the Gollum side before. Maybe that's just their narrative style, and maybe it's not point and click like
Stealth action adventure.
Yeah, I mean...
oh, did it say that? Okay, yeah, maybe not.
But again, that could action
I mean,
adventure. You could argue the Telltale games are kind of action adventure in that action
yeah.
happens and
Yeah,
Especially
just
like-
kind of
like The Walking Dead, I mean, you sneak past a lot of zombies. Like a lot of these Telltale games and things like Life is Strange have had stealth sections and stealth stuff
Yeah.
in them before.
I'd almost do stealth in air quotes because
Yeah.
know, it's the developer saying it's stealth. That doesn't really mean anything.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see. I mean, like, it looks... They said 2021, was it, I think? So, I mean, we've got a little bit of a
yeah.
wait. But, yeah, let's see how it goes.
still, that's probably not that long after the X comes out. It's saying holiday 2020.
Yeah,
but
and it's
now the new rumors are saying maybe December.
December's a
Yeah.
holiday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't release it in November the same day they did the Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
and
Yes,
the One X.
that's what I'm thinking as well.
It'd be that's still after Black Friday, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a week after.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. But then again, I mean,
Not that matters. But, like, it's not like they're going to put it on sale on Black Friday. Like,
no, exactly.
Discounted, but
yeah. Well, maybe they'll put out their remaining stock of their One X's out then.
It's good though. That's Series X. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but that's me in a nutshell.
That's right. You'll be able to get all the good goss from me about how awesome it is, and then you'll be convinced to buy one. Maybe you can sell pictures for $10 a piece.
Oh, don't start this.
Oh boy! And speaking of me buying things, I mean, are you guys actually are you going to be buying this thing on launch? You think?
No, not on launch.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay.
It depends. It depends what it comes out at. Look,
and yeah, it depends on where I'm at financially. But I would be more shocked that I don't get it than that I buy it.
Sure. Chance outlook looks good. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
it's kind of funny. Like I sit here in my home theater room and I'm looking at my Xbox 360, Tarragon's Japanese Xbox 360, my Xbox One X. I've got an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One S in the lounge room. And I'm thinking, do I really need another one right now? There's part of me that's saying, yes. Yes, you do, Alex. You do, mate. What are you even thinking?
And then there's also
other part
us
of me
two and the whole Discord telling you yes as well, I'm assuming.
Well, probably
I'm
if I ever
absolutely
asked,
telling
I'm sure it would be that.
Even
but
if it's not
just,
what I believe.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just spilled silica gel on my desk.
I'm sure I'll get it. Whether I'll get it on launch. I mean, I got the original Xbox One. It was about 6 or 7 months after it came out.
Yeah, I got mine with... They had a Halo 5 bundle, I think it was, that I did that one. So I got the Halo 5 Special Edition. So that was a little bit after launch, right? I think it was maybe a couple of years.
Yeah, I got mine basically the August before Sunset Overdrive came out because I was tossing up whether to wait for the Sunset Overdrive bundle and get a white Xbox.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But then I was like, I think I just said, stuff it, I've got the money now, I'm just going to buy it.
I was supposed to get one at launch. I won one in a competition.
Oh.
And then the guy was like, oh, someone actually won the competition that I basically rigged to be unwinnable, so I'm just going to disappear. So that was good.
What was the competition?
It was a Gamerscore competition for a small website I used to hang out with, and so yeah, so it was we had to. It was basically it was a bunch of challenges, and it ended with having to finish getting all the achievements in Sega Superstars Tennis or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is like a ridiculous game, and like most of it's fine, but there are some parts that are absolutely awful. But the thing is, like, the time frame that he gave, he just reckoned that no one could ever do it, and he was just going to keep the Xbox for himself or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so I won it because I was being super extra and I was unemployed at the time, so I was like, I need this Xbox. And then so time rolled around, Xbox, because this was before it came out, and so he was like, oh yeah, I got your pre-order in for your day one console, and then it came out, and he's like, I broke my leg, and I had to cancel it. And then I never heard from him ever again. And if you're out there listening, you know who you are.
And stop listening.
Yes, absolutely. Unless you're a Patreon, in which case, that's fine. You can keep going.
We don't want your kind here. Promise is a promise.
Yes, I'm still waiting.
The pre-order's in. He's waiting on them to deliver.
Checks in the mail. Yeah.
It got lost on delivery back in 2013.
It's in Dubai for some reason.
Yeah, so I was a bit salty about that, but I did end up getting one of the day one achievements or whatever it was. So.
Oh, okay.
Can you still buy them? Like codes to get them?
They've got it, yeah.
If you've got it, yep, I got one. Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I saw a code for those a little while after I bought the Xbox, and I'm like, I kind of want to have it, but I also don't need it.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's not needed at all. I'm super happy I got one. That's actually the main reason I wanted it, because that stupid achievement. But
No, we can do. Actually, I kind of want to look up on eBay to see if they...
Xbox One achievement, new in box.
Alright, let's go on to the next thing here. So, given that it's a light news week, we're going to talk a little bit about, the highlights and lowlights of 2019.
Yeah,
so we've got like a top and a
we did
bottom list.
finish 2019, funnily enough, and it went well.
Yeah, it happened. That was
Okay,
true.
now, I know this is going to... Just because I can't wrap my head around it. It's not technically the end of the decade, because...
The decade starts the first year.
But...
Theoretically, we started with year 1.
But, okay. That goes back to... What is it, 0? Is it 0 BC? What is the starting point?
It's currently... What is it? My calendar over here says it is the year 12,020. So, I'm just going to go with that.
What?
12,020?
Yeah, my look, I probably can't see it, but I'll show you guys afterwards.
Okay, no,
But
so it goes back to, say, it's 1. Before 1 was...
Before
1
human
BC?
history, basically. Well, it would be, yeah, I guess. No, because BC goes down.
Yeah, it would have to be 0, right? So then you are starting from 0. So is that 1 saying it is the first year after that? Or it has been 1 year since that?
No, it is the first year. When you were...
We are in the 2020th year since
Christ.
Since Christ was
since the Christian Empire, yes.
Yeah. So, but that's the distinction, is whether it's saying it has been 2020 years, so it's 2020 plus 7 days at this point, or this is the 2020th year. If it's a 2020th year, yes, we're still in the decade. If it has been 2020 years, no, this is a new decade.
Well, I think technically BC started at 0, so...
Yeah, so then...
So it would be a new decade in that front. But then you have to argue, was 0 a new decade from AD?
Yeah. And then that gets really confusing once you go back negative numbers. I don't really care. I was just... it was just running in my head as I drove to the hospital today. But I don't know why. I have no idea why. I think it got mentioned that it was the end of the decade in something I was listening to, and then I don't really care. I was just wondering whether my logic was
how
really dumb.
How many absolutely painful "see you next decade" jokes did you guys get on the 31st?
I got a few leading up to it.
I didn't get any. I saw a really good...
Someone was ripping them out, and then the day after, a couple of days after, they asked me something. I'm like, nah, that's really last decade, and I gave it back to them, and they were like, oh, you got me. I felt dirty.
I saw a little internet comic, and it was like a dad said something like, see you next decade, and the kid's like, but Dad, it's 1203, and then the dad warps into a portal, and then it fast forwards 2030. Or something like that, and the kid's grown up a bit, and he's just got a party hat on and sad. It was real funny. Dad jokes there.
Oh, that's harsh.
It was a funny internet comic, regardless of the content. It was a funny.
Did you see this week the pop vinyls, right?
I've heard of them.
They exist, yep.
Yes. So someone made or drew a custom pop vinyl. So picture the pop vinyl box. It's got nothing in it.
Oh. This is the Christmas present
It's not John
of money.
Cena. It's not John Cena.
Yeah,
no, it's not got nothing to do with money.
It's got nothing in it.
And so it's empty.
Uh-huh.
And the pop vinyl is labelled
The Invisible
My Dad. And the bottom part of it says, just going out for smokes. And I saw that. That's cold, man.
That's harsh. I saw someone had done, because they're saying their cousins who are kids just wanted money for Christmas, and fair enough to that. But he didn't just want to give them cash, so he made old 90s style action figure boxes for the money and a pop vinyl to hold the $50 that he was giving him or whatever. And it was done really well. I'll see if I can find the tweet and put it in. But it was like a weird one. It was like $50 can be spent anywhere. Like
Okay.
Item buying action. Stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Proper 90s action figure style.
Can be exchanged for mini goods.
Yeah, stuff like that is brilliant. It is really funny. I'll see if I can find
Karate
it.
chop action on the back. Yeah.
You have those pop-up buttons like, Zam!
Yeah.
Pow! Oof! Okay. Alright.
Speaking of end of the decade.
Yeah, let's talk about some games, huh? Right, well, Matt, you're first in the list, and I'm going to be listening to you, but I'm also going to look up on eBay day one achievements.
Yeah,
for
fair
Xbox,
enough.
Because I'm curious.
I mean, the list is here, so you've already read it. But so what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about some of our top and bottom 5 games of 2019. But in true Matt fashion, I've cheated and added some bonus mentions in here. So, my top game for the year. These aren't in any particular order, but there are some that I like more than others, but I couldn't be bothered trying to do that whole giant bomb, trying to order the list and argue with myself. So my top games were Jedi Fallen Order. So basically, Metroidvania meets Sekiro. It's a fantastic game. I love Star Wars. I'm a huge nerd for it. My second game is Nier Automata, which technically didn't come out this year, but whatever, I played it this year.
This is stuff we played this year. It doesn't have to have come out in 2019 because we don't actually care.
Yeah, and we don't really keep up to date with that stuff most of the time. So Nier Automata, one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life, just hands down. Gameplay wise, it's not amazing. It's definitely not Platinum's best work. It's no Bayonetta or anything like that. But story wise and character wise and writing wise and music and everything else is just so top notch. It's absolutely fantastic. And then taking another sort of turn, Monster Boy, which I talked about a few weeks back, which is a really, really highly polished 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania with really, really great art style, some good humor, some actual quite difficult challenges, a lot of hidden secrets, usual stuff, but just polished to an absolute mirror sheen. And then also Torment Tides of Numenera, which I've also spoken about. It's that sort of CRPG tactical game where you can basically get through most of the game without fighting anybody if you can talk well enough or sneak well enough or you have stats in the right place. It takes its cues from the original Planescape Torment, so it's standing on the shoulders of giants for sure, but I think it's definitely worth playing if you're into that kind of stuff. And then my unexpected one this year was A Plague Tale Innocence, which was...
That's intrigued me. I watched the trailer for it. I think it was on sale. I mean, it's always on sale at the moment, but one of the times it was on sale, I actually went into it and watched the trailer. Actually looks like a kind of spooky game.
Yeah, a little bit. It's really unsettling. And
there's a lot of rats in that place, man.
Yeah,
like so many.
You get real scared of vermin by the end of it. And it's very... It sort of treads the line between not being too fantastical, but also being not just you're straight. Because it's basically the game is set in a medieval world in basically in France, and basically there's this plague going around with these rats, and you have some connection to the rats or why they're happening or something along those lines. I don't want to spoil anything about it, but the game is essentially it's a third-person stealth action game. So there's also a lot of puzzle solving. There's actually quite a good story. There's an interesting upgrade system, a lot of collectibles, and it's like a 8 to 10 hour experience. You play through it once, you enjoy it, you do all the collectibles, you do all the achievements, and you just sort of enjoy the story. And that's pretty much it. And it's so it's quite rare to find a game that actually has that, and it's that sort of level of quality and polish. When it's, no microtransactions, no tactile multiplayer or live services or anything like that. It's just a good, solid game that I enjoyed from beginning to end. And unfortunately, that's just becoming more and more rare. So I would highly recommend that. And then for my bottom ones, I've got heavy...
Nope. We're gonna... we'll do the tops first. We'll end on a crappy note, because that's the best thing to do. Alex, you want to go
do you
on
want to talk about the Xbox Day One codes.
Okay, go real quick.
Just go off on a tangent like we do.
Yep.
So there are seven listings on eBay. I want you to give me the high and the low of what you think the high is and the lowest.
The low is $25.
And I'd say the high is probably about 60.
The high is $600.
Okay. So you got 25 and 600. Matt, what are you going for?
Yeah, I would say I'd probably say 20 and 50.
Okay, the high, including postage, is $533.
No, hold up. What postage? Just send the code.
From Germany.
No.
I don't know. They'll send you
send the code. I don't need the thing. Just
$20. $20.41 to post the paper to you.
Email me the code. I don't give a crap about the thing.
Look, if you're going to pay $532 for this code, you'd probably be okay to pay $20 for a little bit extra.
I want it emailed and sent, because if that gets lost in the mail, that's $500 wasted.
500.
$532.56.
I thought I was being a bit ridiculous with my 600 guess. Turns out I was on the money. Is that Australian, though?
It's Australian,
okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the low is $78.50.
Okay.
Ooh.
Right. That's still pretty steep.
That's still pretty hefty.
I know. For a 0 Gamerscore achievement.
I mean, I've spent more for less, I gotta say.
It's $536, okay. It's just, I feel like somebody added a typo, but the second highest is $353. Also from Germany, like...
Probably not a lot
Germans
of takers.
Probably still have some day one consoles.
No, I bet the Germans have their own regional stack, you know how it is.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if there was still day one consoles unsold in Japan.
That's what I was going to say, Japan. Your dog's also not surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, they've now realised that I've trapped them in the room by themselves and that I'm not coming back for a little bit. And so although to be fair, they probably attacked each other just then because one was annoying the other. Anyway, my top 5 games. I got rid of one because we were just doing 5, and I can't remember now what it was that I got rid of because Matt snuck in some extras. I was going to add it, but I've forgotten it now, so it's gone. It's dead to me. It was a top 6 game, but it's dead to me now. Not in any order. Actually, I did technically get 2. 6 all up.
Yes.
Enter the Gungeon. Great game. Loved it. Made super easy with a feature that they added, an update that they added. The Grand Tour game. Just really enjoyed it.
You would talk about that week after week. Yeah,
it's just
playing all the DLC.
A really fun little... As long as you did it in bite-sized chunks. If you did that all in one go, you would rip your hair out. If you take it in little bite-sized chunks, just play maybe one a day or one episode a week, like you did when it was released. Perfect. Great game. Controls were okay. Much better than one of my bottom 5. Realm Royale. Played it this year. Still playing it. I didn't put Rocket League on here, but I got to snuck this in because I got the completion in that this year.
It's probably important to note that you and I both agreed before the show we weren't going to put Rocket League in.
Yeah,
Matt didn't agree to this, but he also didn't put Rocket League in.
But I also didn't.
So I presume he joined in with us on that, right?
That's definitely it. It's definitely not that I would have put it on my bottom games because it's the worst.
You wouldn't have though because it would have been deleted. But
exactly. How to get yourself kicked off in the show in one easy step.
And my last one on my list is technically 2 titles. It's We Were Here and We Were Here 2. I figured they're basically the same thing, so I'll put them together. They were really fun co-op experiences, and you know me, I hate co-op experiences because that means I have to talk to people, and I hate people. But
which is why we did it together, because I'm not people.
Yeah, we both hate people, therefore we do it with each other because we're not really people.
Yeah, perfect, nailed it. And I was actually, this was a contender for my list as well.
Yeah, except for the one bit that needed him to see colours. It was fine.
I agree with that. I mean, I played We Were Here, just the first one, with Cameron a few weeks ago, and I mean, that was great. We both really enjoyed our time with it. So
good little bite-sized game.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, your top 5.
All right, so my top 5. Shadow Warrior 2.
Incorrect.
Loved the game. Loved the story. I didn't hear what you said, so I'm just going to pretend like I didn't hear it.
Wait, hold on.
I don't have to
I need to go back to that. Yeah.
Hear it. Okay, yeah. I'm going to push on like I didn't hear anything. So Shadow Warrior 2, great game. I mean, like I was talking to, was it Atmos the other day? Aftmos? Actually, don't remember.
Valak. Was it Valak
username.
Aftos?
No, I was talking about Valak, about the ridiculous grind.
Yep.
But anyway, the game is a lot of fun if you don't want to finish all the achievements. The story is great. The humor carries that game so well. But the first-person shooting and melee action is really, really, really top-notch. It's so good. And you're running in there and just things are just going, exploding, and enemies are coming at you. It is a lot of fun. It's very hectic, but it's very, very fun. Very good. Celeste is my second game. These are in no particular order. These are just, I should probably just stop numbering them. But Celeste...
The second game you're saying is Celeste.
Yeah, the second game I'm saying is Celeste, not ranked 2 out of 5. Celeste, man, I talked about it on numerous episodes. It is an excellent game. I love what it stands for, but adding in the assist mode for plebs like me means that I could both get Gamerscore, which I obviously love, and experience a really charming and, I don't know if important is the right word, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, like an important kind of story that I felt really needs to be told and is kind of undertold in amongst all the pow, 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 bang, 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 kill, kill, kill.
Yeah, it was very poignant.
Yeah. I think it just kind of goes to putting mental health into a space that, you're not a psycho or a mental case if you have a mental health disease, and that it's, pretty common, those things. But, again, a great game to go with that message as well. One that Chin put me onto, The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker. Not a fan of how to play that game at all.
Yeah.
Having to type it in with, what did I have? Smart control on my Xbox app. I mean,
you mean the computer keyboard that you plugged in because you're not a lunatic?
No, I just did it with my phone.
I did it with a controller because I'm a monster.
Oh my god, Matt.
Oh, what's wrong with you? Nah, that's too much.
I didn't even think about it. I just did it. I was like, well, I mean, the letters are there.
Yeah. No, I couldn't have done that. But the smart controlling on the Xbox app is not too bad, and it was, reasonably painless. But still, it's not the way I enjoy playing games. But the story had me going from start to finish. The characters, all of the characters, I think, are super engaging. Mm-hmm. The story is really, really interesting. And the fact that you can get a different story just based on randomness compared to someone else, it means, we could talk about, oh man, in this game, Mariana was the one that killed Dr. Decker. In my game, it was...
Spoilers! Oh god! But
it's not a spoiler because it could be anyone. But yeah,
Couldn't
so
be
it's a really, really good game. If you haven't played it yet, definitely recommend getting that one. I enjoyed Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, even the DLC, which I was dreading. Oh, Matt's rolling his eyes.
Oh, that DLC.
Yeah,
that DLC.
That's what I was thinking before I started the game, but before I started the DLC, I should say. But it actually turned out pretty fun. The challenge modes. I mean, once you glitched up all the energy or all the cash.
Then it became fun as you just put it on.
It was great.
Infinite stealth and just run through the whole thing. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. If there was not that in there, I would not have this on my list. The actual story of the base game is also really good. A lot of fun. Again, another one of those societal kind of commentaries on a game. A divide between the augmented and the non-augmented. I mean, you don't have to look very far anywhere really to see people are divided.
It's not very subtle, to be fair, but it is good.
Yeah. And it's also, it seems like augmentations could become a thing in the future. You know, like we already have cochlear implants and bionic ears and all this kind of stuff. We've got arms that, you know, Android-type arms that can be controlled by your mind. I mean, we're starting to see the start of it now anyway. I'm not going to go into full end-of-the-world type predictions mode, but, I mean, you heard it here first. And then Strange Brigade. So, the narrator makes that game. Excellent game. The controls, the gameplay, play it in co-op for the best experience. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And just the right amount of challenge on the hardest difficulty, I think, too. So, yeah. Loads of good games. Matt, do you want to take us through your bottom 5?
Yep. Let's go with them. So, we'll smash through these because they don't deserve much attention. Heavy Fire Red Shadow, which was reviewed on the show a while back. It is a turret game where you sit there and kill things for a bit, and then there's a story
and
about...
then you do it again for a different bit, a different location.
Well, actually, you do it once, and then it's like, hey, you did it. Now do it at the same location, except it's nighttime now.
Yeah.
and then repeat that 6 times, and you're like, wow, that was a bad game. And then it's like, hey, you thought that was a bad game. Guess what? You still have 25,000 more people you need to kill. So that's another 8-hour grind in the endless mode.
Why did developers do that?
I have no idea. So I spent...
Because it boosts the numbers of people were playing our game for 40 hours. They don't care why, but they can show off that people played the game for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I just finished this over the holiday break. So I played through it, the normal stuff about a month or two ago, and I had some time over Christmas, and I just put a podcast on, or I watched some TV or whatever, and I just ran it in the background. I played it for 3 hours, and then I noticed something weird. The trucks that were coming off the boats started floating. Everything started slowing down, and I was suddenly invulnerable.
Wow, I wish that would happen to me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is weird. And then my score stopped going up.
Oh.
And so I sat there for like 3 hours, and I was like, what is going on? So I quit out, and I went back, and it saved none of like the 10,000 kills that I did.
Ooh,
that's a cooler.
Yeah.
Lucky I'm terrible at the game and I die after 20 minutes, so then it always saves it.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like I was like, man, I'm doing really, really well. Like I'm on like wave like 20. Like what's going on? And then I realized I wasn't taking any damage from anything. But of course, the thing only saves once you actually die.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes.
Lucky you didn't decide to take it all the way.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Because the thing is, I wasn't sure. I was like, well, if I quit out, will it save? And if I sit here for another 3 hours doing this, are these kills counting?
Yeah, will it pop in-game
without
me
not
having to die? There's a risk.
Yeah, and it probably would have, but I didn't want to take the risk, so I just bit the bullet, and I sat down for another 6 hours over the last week before I went back to work, and just did it all again.
Awful.
So, yeah, that game is basically the worst. But, you know, while I would say that, except this game, Angry Birds. You've heard me rant about it.
No surprise.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Is Alison still sitting next to you, by the way?
No, she is not. She's gone to bed.
Okay.
But she knows.
Lucky, otherwise there's a bushfire you'd be pushing her into.
Oh.
I'm sure at this point, if she's heard you talk about it, she feels terrible.
Oh, she has, because I know Matt listens to the podcast and makes her listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So, yeah. Yeah, well, to be fair, she's been here for some of the rants, so I can actually look at her and say it to her instead of saying it to the podcast. But, no, this game is the worst. I can't deal with how random the physics are, how half the times it doesn't work, how it just takes a million tries to get one little pig to roll off a cliff, and, oh, God, and just the last stretch that I had to do, because there's like 400 levels in this thing, the last, like, 20 levels were like pulling teeth. Elsa and I were handing the phone back and forth because I was making her work on it just as hard as I did. But man,
did you watch her, or was she just like,
here
you go?
Yeah. I was like, she'd show me every time she got a 3-star, and I was like, yeah, that's right.
Is that the one where you bought a few things to get the last?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The last 20 ones, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put down like $18. I'm gonna get like 50 of these explosive birds, and I'm just gonna fling them into all the levels and kill everything. I still had 20 birds by the end of it, but I was like, you know what? That's money well spent. That's my time. That's my sanity saved. That's money that I don't have to spend in therapy.
I loved hearing you say that.
I must have missed that.
It.
Unless
like,
that was
awesome.
on a... That was in a recording, wasn't it?
It might have been.
It might have just been the two of us.
I might have just mentioned it, yeah.
I think it was a show and I wasn't on it, which means I didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So that game's the worst. But we've got more to get through. So,
Three more.
Three more, in fact. As you probably know, I've recently bought a Japanese console, so I've been delving into the great world of Japanese visual novels, in which I don't understand anything that's going on. And I was like, wow, this game's easy, these achievements are easy, and then I ran into the well-titled Root Double, Before Crime, After Days.
I blessed you with this title.
Yes, thank you, Kirby. This game, what the hell were they thinking? Instead of a dialogue option, you have to change your parameters around how you feel about the characters using a 1 to 8 scale for each of the characters in your thing. And if you get it wrong, you're basically stuffed. And here's the funny thing, though. Normally games, you have maybe 2 options, and you pick one, and then you go back and pick the other one the next time you play through. When you run through the game again, it gives you 2 options that automatically change the parameters for you. So there is a right
settings.
To the perfect settings. So there is a right and a wrong answer. You just have to play through the game once and get it all wrong before you unlock it. Which defeats the whole... Okay. That game
Next
is
game.
so... Yeah, that game took me like 10 hours, and it felt like a lifetime.
How many saves did you make?
Yeah, like you have to make like...
908.
Yeah, it's something. There's something like 89,
something.
like 80 saves or something you need because you have to get every single piece of dialogue. So good luck if you miss something.
I missed something.
Especially if you can't read Japanese.
Yeah, it was really frustrating to find that one. It was literally 2 lines of dialogue that I missed.
Yep.
In the long one, in the long playthrough.
Oh man, yeah, and you can't just hold down skip because you'll skip past the parts where you need to input stuff.
It doesn't have a skip to stop.
No, it does not.
Skip, yeah.
Next one, Winx Club, Althea Butterflix Adventures.
Try again.
Try
again.
With
that game's
quality,
a masterpiece.
an absolute quality. So this was my,
Was this
I think
1.1?
1.2, I think.
1.2.
I think was recently. Recently-ish. Yeah, this was my my 1.2 million game, and what a piece of trash. But they knew exactly what they were doing. They were like, hey, you know what? We're going to hit them with the microtransactions straight away. And even the walkthrough was like, don't play this game any longer than you have to. Just give them their blood money. So you get
it was like $2, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like,
unlock
unlock this character for $2 immediately, and they're like, do not grind the gems. It is not worth your time. Buy the character, get your achievement, move on, burn the game.
You're not better than the $2 transaction. Just do
exactly, exactly. They got money for the game, and then they got money again for the microtransaction. Yeah, so it's absolutely complete trash. But at least it was short, and I get to put it in my trophy case.
We're short because of that $2.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I got my VIP pass, and I just went right to the front of the line, and all the plebs had to wait to get on. And then for my final one, the Walking Dead collection. Now, I know that people are going to be like, wait, Walking Dead's great. I mean, it's okay. Let's not get too crazy about it. The first season was good. The rest of it was average at best. But I was debating whether to add this to the list. But Alison was looking over and she's like, hey, she saw I was going through my game and said, oh, hey, the Walking Dead collection. And then I was like, oh, hey, they re-released that. And she's like, what, for like the 5th or 6th time? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you better not ever play that on TV in front of me ever again. So because she's like, she doesn't even play them. She just sees me playing them. She's like, I am so sick of seeing Clementine on the screen that you're just not allowed to play this game ever again. I mean, I've done it a lot of times. I did it for the 360. I did it for the One. I did it for this collection. I did it on the PC as well. It's, yeah.
Oh boy. This is not the first collection they've released, is it?
No, exactly. And so then they haven't. So that was worth 4,000 Gamerscore at least. This new collection they released is worth 1,000 for the entire thing for 40 to 50 hours.
Yeah.
That's that's a lot of. And oh man, there's only.
All right. What about? Would you rather play the whole four seasons and Michonne?
It's 4 seasons and Michonne, yes.
The new one,
Okay.
yeah.
So 40
Plus
to 50
400
hours.
days.
Yeah. Would you rather play the Walking Dead collection, or would you rather play 40 to 50 hours of a Far Cry 4?
I'd play Far Cry 4 any day. I'd much prefer being able to murk fools.
I had a feeling that might be the answer.
Yeah, you can
because
get
there's some
family
game
tree going in
there.
that game.
You know, like exactly. You can let off.
It's not a great game. But
It's not, but it's a good game. You know, and it's a game with a gun in it at least. It's like
there's plenty of guns in the Walking Dead Telltale.
Yeah,
games.
usually just shoot yourself with them. That's no fun.
Or Duck.
Okay.
Absolutely, every time I shot him.
But oh god, oh poor Duck. I mean, but
Duck.
Duck the kid,
Doug.
the kid. You know, Kenny's kid. You have to shoot in the face.
Or you can let Kenny do it. Or you can do it.
You do it.
can
You're
do
like,
it and
hey, I got a
enjoy it.
gun. Yeah. But if that doesn't count, then one leaves that game about smoking that you have to play like 20 times. Because
20 really short times, but...
really
still
short
20
times, but man, it is not a quality title. And then just a bonus FU to Neverwinter just in general.
Yep.
Just every year, that's the worst game. And it always will be until the company goes bankrupt and I can stop playing it.
Was there ever a time where you enjoyed playing Neverwinter?
That's the thing, is that
First 10 minutes.
God, Kitty, if you are listening, you did this to me, alright?
Who?
But, so I was...
Kitty Skies?
No, so it's a long story that I'll get, that is, a lot of it is not podcast appropriate. But the reason I got into Neverwinter was an ex-girlfriend of mine got me into it, because she was like, hey, it's a super fun thing, we can play in a guild. It's like, she had like a guild and everything, and she was super into MMOs. So I got peer pressured into it, and then eventually I got to it where her and I broke up, and I basically just was like, no, never playing this game ever again. And then suddenly, from the mists of the podcast, Planting's like, hey, I play Neverwinter with my friend Yoda and Frank. You should jump on again. And I said, well, I mean, it's on my tag. I got to play it, right? And I got more achievements in it than I ever expected, but I'll still never complete it. And that's why it's always going to be the worst game.
Why? What's not completing?
Oh, everything just breaks when they add stuff and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been keeping up to date with most of the updates, haven't you?
Just about, but there's just some challenges
the new
in
one has
there.
broken stuff.
Yes, the new one does have some broken achievements in it. They fixed one achievement but broke another one. So I have most of the achievements. I'm missing maybe 6 or 7 from the entire game of 200 achievements. But some of those are PvP achievements that no one plays anymore. There's a challenge for beating one of the hardest bosses on the hardest difficulty with no one dying, which means you need a group of 10 people who know what the hell they're doing, which is next to nobody on Neverwinter. And then the last 2 dungeons, to put this in perspective, one of the achievements for this new patch that came out, which also just in terms of content, the new patch is literally just repackaging the old area you went through in the last patch to get you to do it again. It's the laziest thing I've ever seen. And
what about just at night?
Yes. Actually, you know what? It's the second laziest thing I've ever seen. But one of the achievements I don't think anyone has it still is for beating the new dungeon without dying.
Yeah.
No one has it. Just TA is a big place. There are a lot of people who are really hardcore into games, and not a single person. That's ridiculous. I don't even know if it's unobtainable because I don't know if no one can get it. But yeah, so Neverwinter can go die in a fire. On that positive note, what about your guys' worst things that you've ever played?
Well, I have 2.
Ever? Ever in 2019?
I have two car games. One of them, Super Street the Game. Super Street the Game. Super Street the Game was... I know it was bad Because usually I finish a game and go, oh, it wasn't so bad because I finished it. And because I finished it, now the game wasn't so bad. I don't remember the game. Like, I know, I saw I was scrolling through, I saw the game, went, that game was awful, I'm putting it in my list. I couldn't tell you why it was awful. I think the controls were terrible, and the game, like, had no idea what it was doing. And
wasn't it that any time you even went near a car, your car just died?
I don't know.
It was made of, like, plastic. I think
yeah, probably. But also, the car still worked even without any bits. I remember that because I know I lost. Like, I'm fairly certain I lost the body of the car, and I was just the frame, and I was still chugging along perfectly fine. Like, it was just really bad, and it has a 4-player online achievement that is host only.
Oh no!
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had to find. Luckily, Jimbot played it. I had to find 4 people who owned this game, which was just nonsense. It was really bad. The other bad car game is Driving Essentials, which is a learn how to drive game. You know, should be easy. I already know how to drive. Should be easy. No, apparently I broke too hard and lost 10 points. That's okay. That's fine. We'll keep going. Oh, I fell asleep and drove off the road because I literally fell asleep driving in this game. I was so bored. I was driving along and going, this level is going really long. I think I've gone the wrong way and they're just not telling me to turn around or something. And then I woke up in a ditch on the side of a road and had failed the level. It's just... it's really bad. I will finish it because it is short. I'll finish it this year on my push, but I really don't enjoy it. Because, again, all the rules are backwards as well for me. Because I'm Australian and I drive on the correct side of the road, the left side. And so it's just not fun. It's just not fun. One Leaves, as you mentioned, Matt. I streamed my last 10 runs of it, and someone came in, said, "Oh my god, this looks awful." After watching me play for about 2 minutes, I'm like, "Just you wait, we've still got 90 more minutes to go."
This person has left the chat.
Yeah, basically. I almost want to take up smoking after playing this. Like, it's so bad.
So you die before you have to finish it?
It almost pushed me to smoking to cope with how bad it is. Like, the controls are bad. I don't think there's a definitive time that you have to beat. Because I know I lost ones where I was really quick, and then I won ones where I was not going as quick. It's just kind of you have to be generally quick, which is a terrible metric.
It's very wonky. It's awful. That's the game. Yeah, it's just very cobbled
together. And then once you know what you're doing, it's literally just the same. Like, there's 2 variations, and you go, "Oh, did I get A? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to do B then." And then it's that for 3 hours, I think it is. It's two goes to fail and then succeed, and then 19 more runs. It's just it's dragging you to a slow, painful death, much like cigarettes.
So really, it's set out to do exactly what it was trying to. Yes,
it became the villain. It lived long enough to become the villain.
Hideo Kojima was like, that is a video game.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was a writing credit. And then there's the weird voice in your head giving you running commentary. Like, there was no context for that.
I don't know.
Like, it wasn't even like you look up and there was an event. It was just nothing. It was just a guy in your head talking to you. I don't know whether I had an earpiece on or something. And then occasionally you get stuck and you can't go progress, and yeah. Slabwell. Slabwell, I think I talked about on the podcast. Slabwell is a puzzle game, I guess. It's kind of like Tiles. If anyone's ever played Tiles, Tiles is fantastic. Slabwell is trash candy versions of it. It's not even a poor man's tile. It's a poor man who has fallen asleep in a drain during a thunderstorm and woken up and gone, Tiles, that's exactly what I look like.
That's suspiciously specific, but sure.
It's really bad, and look, it was reasonably easy. You do the level skip trick. You have to beat like 6 levels total. Super easy. Awful controls, awful mechanics. The last level is just a race, so it's not even you have to figure out a puzzle. It's basically a straight line with some turns, and you just have to be really quick. But the quicker you go, the quicker the thing chasing you becomes. So, like, if you go slow, there's a minimum speed that it goes. So if you go slow, you just get destroyed. But if you go over a certain speed while you're doing it, it will speed up. So, like, you just... yeah.
Is it like the rubber banding in the Need for Speed games? The recent Need for Speed games?
Probably. But...
It's like when you are playing really well, and you...
With a really good car, way better than theirs.
Crushing the other opponents.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they just start coming in faster than you when you're like doing max speed, and then they just slingshot in front of you like a rubber band.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that, but worse because the level only takes like 30 seconds, but you don't get it the first time, so it takes you an hour.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And then the achievements are glitchy, so they might just not pop.
Oh,
if you've looked at the guide at any, like the achievement guide to see the achievement list at any point during the gameplay, you may have to delete your save completely.
Oh my god.
Because there's a good chance the achievements won't pop. That's a consistent issue with the game. Multiple reports from many people. What we've got here is a list of things to never play from anyone else. Like, we're just telling all our audience, never play these games. Last one was Decay. It's only in there because it's recent memory. Just a bad game.
Yeah, like it's straight up bad. Like when I reviewed it.
Poorly made and bad game. It's not fun. Yeah. The sliding puzzle is awful.
Yes, oh god, that sliding puzzle.
Sliding puzzle is the worst. And just, it's just... And then you have to play it, you have to do it 6 times. And you can't save right before the critical decision and just do that. No, you have to play through about 30 seconds of gameplay and then about 5 minutes of cutscene or something. It's not 5 minutes, but it feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah, for an ending that makes no sense. And the endings aren't even different from each other, really.
Not really, no. They're all basically the same. And then you have to play through the game again.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I guess... I'm just trying to think. I guess if you were smart and didn't save after the choice of who to save, you don't need to play through the...
So that's what I did, but even then you still have to do a bunch of stuff anyway.
I was not smart and just followed the walkthrough, so I had to do part 4 twice, which is not a big deal, except the control scheme completely changes.
Yeah,
because it's just been so long in between their parts when they released it on the Xbox 360 that they'd forgotten what their control scheme was, so they just made it different. Yeah, don't play Decay if you can avoid it.
What if you already bought it? Still don't play it.
Look, play it and burn it somehow. I'm not saying burn your console, though that wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Just put it on a USB drive and just throw it into a river.
The quickest way to to forget about decay, get some hot sauce on a plate, rub it into your fingers, and then just itch your eyes a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Cool.
That's not where I thought that was going, but...
I've done that.
Okay.
It's painful, but sometimes it's necessary.
And now we know why you flew into another state to have eye surgery.
That's completely unrelated.
Oh, sure it is, mate. I'm sure. Did you disclose that to the doctors?
It's completely unrelated. This was well before I was diagnosed. Which
all right, now
means
before we get into more medical malpractice, Alex, what are your ones?
All right. No.
I really think we should have done the worst ones first and then ended on a high note,
should
because
have.
this is just
Right, you can fix it in editing.
Yeah.
Just flip it around.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Cut that out. Yeah. You always, whenever you say you're going to edit something, you always do.
70% of the time, I do it every time.
Alright, so my bottom 5, well, I've got 6, but Scalextric.
Tracks was good though, so
No, I have not played Tracks, but
the thing is, it's better and worse at the same time. Like it doesn't crash after you win a race, but it also says Firth. I think it's Firth.
Like Colin Firth?
Yeah, Firth and Tooth.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's what you come. You don't come first or second. You're either in Firth or in Tooth place.
It's like the old Your Winner from the old Big Rigs.
Yeah.
I actually had a Scalextric track when I was younger.
Yeah.
But we never had
A car.
a big enough house
Actually.
that we could set the track up. And, like, you couldn't put it on the carpet because it started making a burning smell. So, I was like, oh, you know what? People say this is bad. It's not going to be that bad. No, it is that bad. It is. It's very bad, and it's also not very good. It's a combo deal, man. It is.
Yeah, but that sound though
gets you on both ends. Yeah.
And the worst part is you can't hear the sound, because then you won't hear when you're starting to go off the track. Yeah, because otherwise you just fly off and you have to keep replaying. Like, that's the worst part, is you have to have that sound.
The thing was, I actually found that flying off the track was kind of inconsistent as well.
Yeah.
There's a few times where I'm like, no, I know that I'm not going fast enough, and then my car just flies off. And you're like, what the hell, mate? The only reason I started it is because I needed difficulty-specific achievements to finish the 12 Days of Christmas. Yeah. And I paid full price for it. So I think it was Australian $18.
18, yeah.
$17.95, $18. Mate, don't do it. Don't do it.
That's all right. It's off my list.
Yeah, and don't play Tracks either, just in case you're trying to, like, a loophole, get around it that way. Don't do that one either. Actually, you know how it freezes after every time?
Yeah.
2 times it didn't freeze for me.
You must be the only person.
What?
I don't know. I won, and it, the blue spinning things come up on the screen, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to dashboard here again, and then I press the dashboard button. Like, just before I press the dashboard button, it came back to the menu, and I was like, what?
Maybe it doesn't freeze. It's just so poorly optimized it takes a really long time to load.
No, I think it freezes. I think it freezes, because I was waiting there a little while for one of them, but anyway, it's
testing
bad.
the theory.
The Tower of Beatrice, look, it's not the worst game I've ever played. It's not the worst game on this list either. It's just, in some ways it is, actually. Now that I think about it, it taunts you the entire time you play it. And it's like, almost like, you paid money to play this. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's not what the game says, but that's what I heard. That's the message that I was receiving. It's not worse than Scalextric, but it is not fun. And the person that switches between being your friend and trying to help you get out of the dungeon when they don't want you to get out of the tower, and then it flips going, you're never going to get out of the tower, but by the way, go make the crown red so you can draw on the red squares. And you're like, What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why? Do you want me in the tower or do you not want me in the tower? Anyway, it's bad. I'm going to move on to the next game because Woodle Tree Adventures.
Oh, come on.
Boy, what a fun game that was.
Oh, come on. Woodle Tree Adventures.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Come over
Yeah.
to
I
New
got the
Zealand
very
and
grind
kick you
left.
straight. That is very bad.
Yeah, that grind sucks.
I'm hoping I
It
can
is-
Cronus it
It's bad.
and just
It's
do it
very
while I
bad.
sleep.
Alright, the next game, I had the fortune is really not the word, to play Bird Game Plus. That stinks. That game absolutely stinks.
It's
I hate that
fine.
game. It's not
You
fine.
have a terrible bottom 5. You're bad
No.
at this.
No, mate.
This list should be in your bottom 5.
What do you mean? This is my bottom 5.
No. The list itself should be in your bottom 5 things you
You're
did
saying-
in 2019.
okay. Nah.
Making
Bird Game
this
Plus,
list.
I hate that game. I hate that game so much. I played it and I'm just like, you know those moments where you play a game so bad that you doubt why you go after achievements?
Yep, any of
And
the
you
5
think,
on my
you
list,
know what?
maybe one on yours.
Nah. I sat there playing this game and I thought, if someone walked in and went, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'd rather they just see some nudes of me. Because it's less embarrassing than playing Bird Game Plus.
You might even save some koalas.
to the New South Wales firefighters, and you might be able to get some Alex nudes.
Yeah, or you can play Bird Game Plus. It's a 50-50. The worst game on this list, Battle Knights. Now, I absolutely hate this game.
Have you finished it?
Hate this game. No.
It's on my list
I-
of easy
I-
things for my push. Is
I
it
don't
not?
even know what that is. I don't even know what
It
it
is
is.
not easy. It is not easy. And if you go in there and play it and go, oh yeah, man, this is easy. I'm ChinDocta. If I could do it, you could do it. Mate, I'll tell you what.
Oh, this thing.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I looked at this a while back and everyone was like, oh, it's pretty simple. And then a bunch of people were like, no, it's not. Don't do it.
They are
Don't.
lying through their
Yeah,
teeth.
don't do it.
Not only is it a bad game, it is extremely difficult. So, yeah, anyway.
So just wait for next week, guys. ChinDocta talks about how he completed Battle Knights in one sitting.
If you can both sit through that game as a terrible game and sit through the game at its level of difficulty and complete it, my hat is off to you. But it is you nearly have to beat me out then because I'm so mad about this game. Alright, the last game on here, I had to put it on because it's a bad game, but I also feel like out of all the games I've listed, this game tried the hardest to actually make a good game.
Did they, though? Did they
No,
try
I
the
think
hardest
they
to
did.
make a good game?
No, I think they,
I think they
I
tried.
think they tried the hardest to make a game.
I think they tried, but I think there's a lot of things that went wrong along the way.
Yep.
Language barrier, I think, is... anyway, the game is Where the Bees Make Honey. Also, random 200-point DLC for completing a level in the middle of the game. That's odd.
Yep.
That's a bit odd. I managed to get it because the game, the DLC had already long since been released, but yeah, just weird. Chin's holding something up to the camera.
Yeah, no,
I
just
don't know
keep
what
going.
that is.
Just keep going.
Is that a Where the Bees Make Honey?
No.
No, it's not. Anyway.
I mean, it's
The
almost
thing- you
Battle
know,
Knights, but it's the
Have you
Ricky
both
figurine.
played Where the Bees Make Honey?
I dived it. It's on my list of things in my push.
Have you played any of the level where you go around collecting the honeycombs?
Literally dived it. I got to the tree at the top of the office, I think, or the bottom of the office, or in the gymnasium
okay,
or whatever,
so no,
and
you
then
haven't.
left immediately.
Have you played it?
Yeah,
No?
yeah, I did it. Yeah.
What is up with when you collect the 3 honeycombs and the character in the bee costumes got her head fully tilted on the side, like when you go to sleep tonight?
Like she's
I'm gonna stab you straight in the head.
yeah,
You're
like
gone
like
by.
the Grudge sort of yeah,
It's like non-blinking, looking at you, head tilted,
dead eyes.
too far, mind you.
Yep.
Way too far.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The game's messed up.
Anyway. Okay, that's my bottom 6, but I've also got some bonuses. The worst bottoms of this year, the Shadow Warrior 2 grind. Yep, you can jog on. The the Super Lucky's Tale coin grind, which I haven't finished yet. I haven't even started, but I'm going to try and Cronus it.
Yeah.
And Deus Ex Foxiest of the Hound achievements. Glitching out on me. What did I play that through 3 times? And I still didn't get it? Yeah. So that's 2... I didn't get in Human Revolution either, the Foxiest of the Hounds. But I actually probably... No, I didn't let any alarms go off and I still didn't get it. Anyway, I hate the Foxiest of the Hounds. It's so crap. Anyway,
so
let's move on.
In the Discord, let us know what was the best bottom and worst bottom from our list. What was the best bottoms and the worst bottoms?
Who's got the nicest bottoms?
I was going to say, and if you donate $10, you'll probably see one.
And who's got the least nice bottoms?
Yeah. special Patreon prize is it's coming your way, guys.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you thought you had a choice in this. I'm going to mail it to you directly. I have your emails. I'm gonna send you an email.
Oh boy! All right. Well, before we get taken off the air.
Yeah, I was gonna say get cancelled.
Yeah,
cancelled on Patreon.
Cancel culture. Yep. Next up, we're looking at some goals for 2020.
Yeah.
Looking to the future. Now that we've crapped all over the past.
Yeah. I noticed that despite probably the obvious theme, some of us just generally went with goals for the year. Didn't necessarily stick to games, just decided to do life goals as well.
That's fine.
To be fair, video games are my life.
Are you sure?
They are?
1.2 mil?
Or they aren't?
They are. Nearly 1.3
good.
mil.
Yeah.
Get it right, Jim.
I'm just saying. I mean,
number 1 in New Zealand.
Yeah, 1.27.
Number 2 in Oceania?
2 in Oceania. So yeah, recently over the Christmas break, I managed to hit number 2, and that's probably where I'm going to stay.
We'll see.
For now.
Definitely coming.
Oh boy. Whether
Whether I die at 1 million and just
have an unfortunate accident.
Just on my gravestone. Well, he reached it.
Yeah. Yep. That's yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll talk in the break about it. I've thought of a really good idea about what to cross the threshold with, because I'm definitely not hitting it on the nose. Can't calculate that well.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, doesn't count then.
Sorry.
My biggest concern is that I'll be set up, ready to get it, and then Dad pops a Microsoft Solitaire Collection achievement.
What do you mean you played 100 games of Spider?
Yeah, just smacks me over the line with one of those. That was literally my nightmare after talking to Sangrias about... He was talking about there are some games that would retroactively pop achievements when they got added through title updates. You know, if someone looked at your achievement list. And so as he was getting close to that million, he was stressing really hard that was going to happen. I'm like, that's fine. That's not going to happen. And then I was thinking...
Yep.
Oh, no. As I looked at my recently played games and saw that, I went, oh no. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Goals, though.
Also, in Neverwinter, one person has got the Master of Underground.
Oh, alright then.
Ensure no players die in the Halaster trial.
That's the one.
Is that the one you're talking about?
That is the one.
Who?
It's like I, Control, Alt, Delete, I, or L. Control, Alt, Delete, L.
What?
Alright.
That's their username.
Oh, okay.
Like Control, Alt, Delete with 2 I's, one at the front, one at the back.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Hacker Man.
A 10 gamer score.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I did think that. 10 gamer score worth 3,226
achievement
points.
Yeah,
boy.
See what I'm putting up with?
Boy.
Yeah.
That is foul. That is absolutely foul.
Yeah, I thought mine Laban was bad.
Okay. Alright, goals. I'm going to start with the goals just because I've got
Go for it.
The first one here. So I want to play Doom Eternal. I want to play Zombie Army 4. I want to hit 500,000 gamer score. What?
I want to play a game. That's a
Look,
high bar.
goals would be achievable, right?
Look, I would like to write in there, earn all the achievements in Doom Eternal, but they might all be multiplayer updates, and they can...
No, I just meant...
No.
I played a game, goal reached, yeah! Like...
Look, mate,
No, you're right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play Doom Eternal for like 5 minutes, and then I'm going to stop and be like, hey, I reached that part of my goal.
No, but
you got me.
like a...
You got me, mate. All right.
I guess
well, 500,000 gamer
stipulation, that is technically a goal, because then it's kind of, you've cleared your whiteboard to play it. I guess there's that hidden stipulation. Or you're just going to play it, you're just going to add it to your whiteboard as soon as...
Mate, I'm going to play it.
He's going to jump straight into it.
I'm playing them both as soon as they come out, I reckon.
Fair enough.
95% completion, and then turn all DLC settings on. Catch up on all the games started on my whiteboard, which I might have to wipe some games off it because I'm probably not going to play them. Begin the DLC cleanup for a lot of my games. So I went and bought a whole bunch of cheap Xbox 360 games that I'd got 1,000 Gamerscore, but not the DLC in. So I've already started that, but I want to finish kind of a lot of those games this year, and I want to get the Dead Island full series completion. So I've already got Dead Island and Riptide, and the remasters, Retro Revenge and Escape Dead Island. I just need to do the 2 Japanese versions of that game. So
yeah, you do realize, Alex, you got a whole year for these challenges, right? Come on, mate. This is like 2 months worth of work. What are you doing? What are you going to do for the rest of the year?
Well, Doom Eternal comes out in, like, March.
Oh, actually, you're right. So... you got to get it all done before that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. So it all falls into place.
500,000 Gamerscore is about 80,000 Gamerscore away from me.
So 3 months.
And unlike you two, that was almost a year for me.
100,000 a year usually for me, to be fair. I mean, last year was an exception, but...
Yeah, last year was... You beat me last year as well, didn't you? You
did like a 189 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good form.
Yeah, beat you like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah. I had fair enough. I had a quiet year. I played a lot more Rocket League than I should have, to be honest.
Yeah, you keep that up, buddy. Just keep doing it.
Every time I played it, I was like, could be getting achievements right now. I'm really having fun. But that was a whole day I spent not getting achievements. Yeah,
Alex, you need to keep hitting them up every day, but like, hey mate, you want to play some Rocket League?
Because I can't say no.
Because yeah, it's perfect.
I think after this season of ranked, I might be done for the foreseeable future until I hit some goals. I nearly hit Diamond 3. Diamond, not Diamond 3.
Diamond 3. Oh, well. You've been playing more than Kiwi. You just get there.
Plat 3, 4. And then Kiwi's like, we're on a win streak. We're on like a 6 win streak. We had a 10 win streak, lost a couple games, back on a win streak. And Kiwi's like, it's getting late. I'm going to go to bed. I'm like, okay. Wish you wouldn't, probably like 2 wins away from Diamond. That's okay. Yep, good session, buddy. You go rest up. Snap his New Zealand neck. Fan those bushfires at him.
He does, yeah. He does like that. He loves that neck.
I don't see you having any Rocket League related goals in your list.
No, that's because I'm not going to play enough to get a goal.
So, yeah, what are your goals, Chin?
I think the obvious, the one I've said a fair bit is the million Gamerscore. I hit just past 800,000 or 800,000 basically at the end of last year. So I think I was a little bit ahead of it. It essentially, I'm going to Achievement Fest this year, which is 23rd to 25th of July. I would like to hit 1 million at that, but that means I need to get about 950 Gamerscore a day on average.
Ooh.
Until then. So I've been my planning, and I've got about 150,000 that I already own that is foreseeable completions under 10 hours. A lot of it's probably...
someone's got, surely got a Chinese box with that... Oh, God, what's that game? With the little triangle, man.
No, stop. My plan... the aim, if I can do it at Achievement Fest, is to have 997,000-ish. I'll try and line it up just for you. And then I do Dying Reborn Chinese, Mr. Pumpkin Chinese, and Your Toy Chinese.
Oh,
toy.
your toy
I hope it
Chinese
takes
for the
you
million would
25
be
times.
incredible.
3
Get that.
Chinese. I was also, as a kind of just another idea, was looking for an achievement that essentially says something like, that was easy to cross the threshold with, something like that.
Yeah. That's why I did Grinder Supreme for my one.
Yeah, I'm not super looking into it yet, because I think I was talking to Sangrias about it, and he said what he would do in this situation. I think it's probably a good idea is rush to 900,000 as quick as I can. Then it's a pretty easy shoot to 950 by start of July, and then 25,000 in July before I leave gives me enough wiggle room at Achievement Fest. If I can't get 5,000 in 3 days, after doing that, probably something wrong with me. So I think that's probably where I'm going to go. I'm going to save a lot of my 1 hour completions, because even though, I could technically get 2,000 one day and then it'd be covered for tomorrow, I think it's easier for me if I just try and focus on 1,000 a day, sort of try and do some of my longer ones on the weekends rather than knocking out 5 1 hour completions and getting burnt out a bit.
Yep, agreed.
So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully at Achievement Fest. If not, by the end of the year, easily. I had another goal, and now I can't for the life of me remember it. And I was hoping I'd remember it by the time the show went on. Didn't, so there is another goal, but it just doesn't exist. And I have my forever goal of hitting 70%.
Where are you at the moment?
I am at... And this is only DLC I own, because I don't... If I was proper completionist and trying to push in the 90s, I'd have all, because it'd be silly to have it otherwise. But I'm at 45.1.
I'm only at about 5% behind with all DLC turned on.
That's pretty good.
We're about 87.5, and I'm at 92.5 now.
So 471 achievements to get to 46, and I need 898 to recover from my bean dive. I guess that's one of my goals, is recover from my bean dive, because I don't think I'm going to be doing a bean dive this year, just because, well, it depends where I'm at with my million hunt. But yeah, it's certainly a doable
I've got
goal.
a suggestion for your million.
Go for it.
1 million Gamerscore achievement. I don't think this is a suggestion that you could or would do if you want to hit it at Achievement Fest. But say you don't make it at Achievement Fest. In Guitar Hero 3, there's the achievement Millionaire Club for scoring 1 million points on any song in co-op. Like I said, it's not an easy achievement.
What do you just play Through the Fire and the Flames?
It's a co-op game.
Easy.
Yeah, we got to have another person who's just as good at it as you are, Jen.
Do you? I'll just get Tarragon to be the second.
Tarragon's gotten weirdly good at that game.
Yeah. I think he and I could
good.
full combo that song on Expert easy.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it, because I would either, as we sort of alluded to, I'd either have to get Tarragon to cheat Through the Fire and the Flames for me, because I'm not ever going to be able to do that anymore. I'm just not good enough. Or just accept that it's not getting completed, which both would be okay, but yeah, probably not, just because it's more hassle than I want to deal with in trying to decide whether I want to complete it or not.
I just think the name
would be nice.
It's just the name of the achievement is really the reason. But yeah, can definitely acknowledge that is one mother of an achievement to get.
I notice
legitimately.
Matt
anyway
got 5 stars in all songs on hard recently.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Guitar Hero, actually.
I just noticed. I'm like, someone's
practicing.
been playing Guitar Hero 3. Oh, it's Matt. Wait, when?
Jeez, just Matt was it? Okay.
Hold up. When was this dated to?
I
Interesting.
definitely didn't get.
Oh, he's been playing it on the couch.
I mean, that's where I
we've been
usually play my
recording.
video games, to be fair.
That's weird. I feel like I would have noticed you strumming away. Is all. That's
I mean,
odd.
it's fine. Do you hear the click clack in the background? And just
now
you hear
that
the
I'm
guitar being
listening-
snapped. Yeah, no, we'll edit all this out for the actual show. But yeah,
Yeah. I hear that now.
it's like the fan noise. You just block it out after.
Does
a while.
that include Through the Fire and the Flames? Like all those bonus songs? Are they bonus songs?
I don't think you have to 5-star. No, not the bonus songs. You don't have to 5-star Fire and Flames, but you have to finish it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. And Matt, your goals?
Yeah, so my usual goal of trying to lose some weight. That's yep. So unfortunately, video gaming doesn't really help with that unless I'm trying to get Ring Fit Adventure or whatever the hell the latest Nintendo thing is.
Fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. And Alison does.
I've heard things about it.
I got
I wish it came out in 2020 so I could have picked it up in my draft.
Yes, So I've got Alison a Switch for Christmas, so I may end up actually buying that at some stage. I'm actually going to be officiating a wedding because technically I am an ordained minister person. I can do weddings.
Is that part of your qualifications as the Wizard of New Zealand?
Sure, but technically the wedding is in the US, so I don't know if that counts. So I had to get
You're worldwide.
International waters, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it's
We
fine.
just get on a boat.
Yes, I'm going to the States. One of Alison's friends is getting married, and they asked me to officiate the wedding. So one of my goals is
That's awesome.
not completely screwing that up. So we'll see how that goes. I'll report back when I get back from that by the middle of the year. And if I don't report back, it's probably because they buried me. And also, but for actual video game stuff, I want to hit 95% completion. It takes me about 400 to 500 achievements per percentage at this point, so it's pretty tough, and I have all DLC turned on. But I am in cleanup mode because I am not going to buy a single game for 2020. I'm not buying any more games. I'm done. I have too many games. I have to. Yes, yeah, I see that. I can't.
I'm making a hand gesture to Matt that suggests that may be untrue, or that he may crack at some point in the next 358 days.
Look, I nearly cracked. I nearly cracked like 5 minutes ago when I saw that that The Vanishing of Ethan Carter was on sale, and I haven't played it yet. But
what does that count for in terms of the Game Pass? I assume you have your Game Pass subscription.
I do have
active.
Game Pass. Game Pass is a little bit different, but I don't think I'm going to start too many Game Pass games unless they're super easy or... Actually, yeah, that's probably going to be it. I mean, I think the only thing I'm kind of interested in starting on Game Pass at the moment is Outer Worlds, but even then I might not play that. I have so many games that I just need to get done. I have... Looking at my Xbox One at the moment, I have 400 games that I need to finish. And probably another 100 Xbox 360 games, plus another probably 100 backwards compatible ones, and probably another 100 that aren't backwards compatible that I need to do. So that'll easily last me a year, probably 3 years.
It's quite funny because I keep talking about trying to get my installed games on my Xbox One under 50.
Yeah, or to be fair, my installed games are at 47 at the moment. The rest of them are still waiting there, taunting me.
Okay.
But
you're ready to install.
Yeah,
right.
so most of them I haven't started yet, to be fair. So they will look like new games when they come up. So I haven't, because I don't really do main dives. But I'm going to try as hard as I can not to buy any video games. The only exceptions I'm probably going to make are DLC, because, I mean, if they add achievements, then I have to complete the game, so I have to buy the DLC. And potentially sort of, regional Japanese stuff or anything like that that I've got, because I've got my Japanese console, to pick up a few visual novels here or there and that sort of stuff. But outside of that, I'm going to try my best not to buy any video games. I think Chin said the same thing last year, and I think that went just about as well as I expect my one.
I tried to start less than 100 games.
How did that go?
I think I started 400. I started more than 100 in the bean dive.
God.
I think I started about 450.
In my defense, cleanup duty has been going pretty well. Looking at my true achievement stuff for the year, I finished more games than I started. So I'm going in the right direction, but very, very slowly. So we'll see. I mean, like, eventually I'm just going to get to a point where I just need to snap the console in half because the games I'll have left. There are reasons I haven't finished a lot of these games, especially on the 360. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's some stuff on there that I'll never finish, like Wolfenstein or Graw or... actually, those two are probably the only ones that I'm... Oh, maybe Devil May Cry 4. Probably that one, too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a pain.
Yeah. But we'll see. I'm going to try and get as much done as I can, and I'll get into some of the stuff that I've been working on to try and make that a reality. But yeah, that's me.
What about the G-Task roundup?
There was no G-Task this week, so
No.
everyone made it through, and no. It's period 28 is what it is, which means it's a team side bonus. The bonus this week is, I don't remember what it's called, but it's for ending the scoring period with the same Gamerscore and achievement game as the previous period. So it's a team bonus, so it's your team achievement and Gamerscore. So if your team got 50 achievements for 10,000 Gamerscore, that's what you need to do this week. That would be impossible.
That's a lot. They're all 200
yeah,
points.
they'd all have to be 200. That's probably impossible to have 50 for 10,000.
50 200 point achievements even available.
I don't think they exist. Yeah. But if that's what you did, that's what you have to do again with a rising line on the...
Good luck.
So let's hope you weren't like near that threshold of elimination. Otherwise, you're probably popping some bonuses. Bonuses won't count towards this because it's not Gamerscore. It's bonus. It's separate. For period 27, the solo cutoff was 26:38. Low swimmer, nearly drowned. J Black. I've saw the numbers afterwards and assumed it was part of his name. It's definitely not. He's definitely just J Black as his gamer tag.
Yeah.
Because he earned 2,679. Whoa, numbers. I should have added some commas. He was 41 above the drop.
Ooh.
High flyer was planting 42. I
never heard of him.
Gonna say it was rigged. I'm gonna say he cheated. And that this doesn't count, but he got third, supposedly, for 6,595 true achievement difference, supposedly.
Busy boy.
Yeah.
Busy.
Probably played some Minecraft, I reckon. I don't know.
I think I did see him playing some Minecraft during the week, actually. One of the aquatic updates, I think it was.
Yeah. We did get an elimination in the solo side of Big L. He's out of the solo competition. Don't think he really cared at this point, though. He was done with it already.
He was happy to take an L on it.
Yeah. Team cutoff this...
I'm sorry, listeners. I'm sorry.
Team cutoff for previous period was 7,179. Our low flyers was Boys to Kingsmen featuring B. Smitty. B. Smitty, Kingsman 2625, and Doughboy. 7,439, 260 above the drop. Team high was Is This Team Leapfrog of Jimbot UK, Daniel JJ 14, and Infamous. They're in 6th spot with 9,335 true achievement difference. No teams eliminated, so good on ya. Good luck matching that. Leapfrog, hopefully you used easier stuff and didn't use high ratio things. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to pop some preloads. And Boys to Kingsman, your stuff. Just they were the next one above the line. You're not getting this bonus. Funnily enough, or you know what? If you pop some high ratio stuff, you might stay in it. I'd hazard a guess you're popping some bonuses if you want to get this bonus. So, is that trade worth it? Probably not.
The knives are out. It's getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw in my newsfeed Matriarch actually got eliminated this week in the solo side as well.
Oh.
Because I saw Big L and Matriarch at the same time.
Okay.
I thought, okay, they both decided they'd had enough.
Yeah.
So after the G-Task roundup, we usually talk about what we've been playing for the week. Matt, why don't you go first and tell us what you've been playing?
Sure. So it's I've been away for a little bit. So I missed last week's episode. And by last week, I mean the last 3 weeks. So I've got a lot of catching up to do, but I will just speed through what we have. So I've been playing through Life is Strange 2. Since it's all came out on Game Pass, I figured now's probably a good time. Easy points. I like the first game a lot. It's fantastic. I'm really not digging this one, though. It's not grabbing me. I don't like the characters as much. I think that the setting is not... The sort of American road trip setting is not quite as... I don't know. What I liked about the first game was that it was very self-contained. Like, you were in, Arcadia Bay, and you were exploring different parts of it where you were going back to places and you saw things in different times with different people, but you kind of got a familiarity for the place. Whereas this game is all about being, like, just confused and things changing constantly, and you just have to try and keep up with them, which is sort of, it's a theme within the game about growing up and going on a journey and all that sort of stuff. So, like, I understand what they're trying to do, but I just don't really feel like it carries quite as well as the last one. I'm on the last chapter, I just started it, so we'll see how it ends. I have an idea of how it's going to go, but, man, episode 4 takes a turn. Well, the end of episode 3 takes a turn, and then episode 4 is totally different. And the ending for episode 4 is so ridiculous, like I was half expecting Nicolas Cage to come out. Like, it was like, it was
not the bees.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
bees.
Like, it was that level of just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, are we seriously doing this? But yeah,
Well, wasn't it episode 4 in Life is Strange 1 that they had the big turn?
yes, actually, yeah, you're right. So maybe that is the thing they're going for. I mean, episode
thing, yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but
It's like towards the end of episode 4, if I remember correctly.
yeah, no, I think you're right, because episode 5 was that weird dream stuff, or a lot of it was. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll get through it and I'll report back how it goes next week.
I'm 2 episodes in. I am getting the same problem I get essentially the same problem with the Telltales and with the first game. None of the decisions really seem to matter. I mean, they do have a flow-on effect, but it doesn't matter. Like,
No,
there's a
the
thing
narrative has to continue, right?
Yeah.
No matter what.
And you're going to be forced into the situation regardless of the decisions you make, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It feels both stressful and pointless at the same time, because it's like, what decision am I going to make? Oh god, what effect is this going to have? But also, I still know that no matter what decision I make, the game will still continue, even if I feel bad for a bit.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything. No spoilers. End of episode 2.
With the Captain
there is
Spirit
a thing
stuff?
happens. Huh?
The Captain
This
Spirit
Captain Spirit stuff.
Yeah.
I saw the decisions at the end where...
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because I didn't get it.
Oh, those can happen. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
That could have gone
I'm
really
so glad
bad.
the good thing happened in mine. Even though... And you would have indirectly influenced that, but I just assumed that was the path. Like, because I had a good thing happen. Kind of.
A not terrible
from
thing.
what I remember, a not bad thing happened, yeah. And so I went essentially, oh, bad things could have happened. I wonder what decisions you would have had to make to get to that point.
Yeah, I have a couple of ideas of how they could have gone.
Because then,
but...
like, you've either got that, what's his name, Daniel?
Daniel's the kid with the powers.
Daniel's the young one, yeah. Either doesn't care and just lets it happen, or, I don't know, like, he's just got to not care.
Well, I guess part of it is because it is an interesting thing they do throughout the game. This is the most interesting part of the game, though, is there is a hidden morality score for Daniel. So
it's essentially the same thing with AJ in the final series of The Walking Dead.
Right, so I haven't played the final season yet, but that's
it's
the idea.
basically the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, so you basically you have like how moral they are, and then also like there's like how reliant on their powers they are, like how flippant they are, like how much they hide it and how much they use it. And so trying to walk that line of if you have someone if you basically teach him through your actions that he should be using his powers all the time, but only to help himself and not other people, then that's the kind of thing that can happen where he's just like, nah, whatever. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people get the same stuff because people tend to be pretty boring and safe. Like me, I've pretty much got most of the good options so far. But like you said, it doesn't really matter.
Well, my girlfriend wanted to be an asshole essentially, so I did some really terrible things. One of the things was in the start of the second episode, peg it at his face, and so I did. And in all fairness, I genuinely thought he was going to stop it.
That is the joke, yes. Is that yeah. But I did the same thing. I was like,
"You can increase your power." I'm like, "Of course I will." Then
just throw it as hard as you can.
Oh, it's like there was a rock in that one. Surprise. But yeah, it's. I can see where things might have, and maybe I'll get more of a sense as I play further episodes. But it's just again, it feels like nothing really matters. Like. Again, in that second episode, towards the end, I assumed that the people you were with would just get rid of you, and not that you would leave.
Yeah, which I think is one of the potential options.
But I just assumed that would definitely happen, because it didn't make sense to me
to have you play the rest of the game there. Yeah.
The female's character didn't make sense to me, because the whole time they were quite negative towards both of us.
Yeah.
Yourself and Daniel. And then suddenly at the end, at least in my case, as I'm leaving, it was, I don't know, it didn't seem to fit. Especially given what had happened ever so slightly before that.
Right, yeah.
Being caught.
Yeah, I don't... there is some... Yeah, you can tell where the threads are a bit, because there are some real inconsistencies there. Whereas I think that's what works so well with the first game, is that you're seeing these characters a lot, so there's time to build up the relationships, whereas with this game, you're basically in a different locale every single episode, or even between chapters of the episode. You keep moving. Yeah. So you don't really get a lot of time to build up the relationships outside of the relationship you have with Daniel. Which is obviously the sort of crux that drives the story forward, but it also makes the other characters feel kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah. Also, first episode, that was Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Or as we like to call him, Big Jonah Hill.
Yes, Jonah Hill Alpha.
Yeah. Jonah Hill Prime. Okay. Sorry for that. Sorry, if you've not played Life is Strange 2, that discussion that's a waste of time for you. But when you play it, or if you play it,
come back to this.
Understand why we're skirting around things, because I don't want to spoil it, because the 5th episode only just come out, so...
And it is a narrative game, like, that is the reason you play it. I mean, the reason is get easy achievements, but the other reason is that there's a story.
The reason that most people will play it is that there's a story. Okay, continue with what you played, sorry.
So, no worries. So I've been finishing up phone games, so while I was away down in the South Island, I got to, basically all I had to do on my road trips was play phone games, so I played a bunch of them, a lot of easy stuff. I played that Cro-Mag game where you drive a cart using the tilt controls. That was absolutely awful. I played a couple of the game room games. I think it was like Lunar Lander or Moonwalker or whatever it is, and Pitfall, and yeah, just a bunch of absolute crap. So all I've got left is I think it's some Shifty Sands game, some sort of kart racing game, and I've got Rocket Riot, and then I actually sent my old phone away to get fixed, so I can finally finish up my other 2 Windows Phone games, because I've got tired of the screen glitching out. So I just paid the $60 to get the digitizer replaced or whatever, because it's just completely messed up. But hopefully when I get that back and it all works, then I can get back to finally finishing all this stuff.
It's like a real life microtransaction.
Yep.
Or maxi
yeah,
transaction.
Macro transaction. Yep, exactly. Things I do for achievements. Space Invaders Infinity Gene. So, I'm actually concentrating on my random to-do list. So, I played through this for the difficulty achievements. So, I managed to get pretty much all the other ones. But my one of the achievements I have for the random to-do list this month is play music mode 10 times. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just jump into that mode. And the mode says, hey, you can play a playlist based on the songs you have on your Xbox. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, you can rip CDs onto your Xbox. And I was like, wait, really? And it's like, yeah, but it only works on the 360. So I had to re-download it on the 360. I was like, cool, I guess so. And then I looked around my house and realized I do not own a single CD. I don't own a CD. Like, what? So I had to go over to my parents' place, and I ended up with an album of the best of Macy Gray.
Oh, what?
I know, right?
Oh, Macy Gray. Oh, God.
So basically, I just ripped "I Try."
Yeah.
I try
Just the one song.
Forget the song that you wrote. But Neomaster mentions on the podcast, and now I'm annoyed. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You can start thinking.
I hate that song.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I just played that song.
You played Space Invaders too.
Yeah, so basically I just killed myself, like, in the game, not in real life. Three times, and did that like 30 times and got the achievement.
Oh,
we don't want to get copyright strikes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I had to do that for an achievement. So now I have a CD here that I need to get rid of. But yeah, I just thought it was hilarious how I basically had to go and look at an arcane vault for some ancient piece of technology to put in another ancient piece of technology to earn an achievement from like 10 years ago.
Sounds like something we would do.
Very much so. So I did that. Speaking of narrative games, I also finished up Telltale Batman 2 on the PC. I'd got some of the achievements for the 12 Days of Christmas, so I figured I'd finish it up. And I did the other, basically if you haven't played through the game, there's a decision in the 4th chapter that literally completely changes the 5th chapter, or the 5th episode. So, depending on, when I did it on the Xbox One and I think it was just the Xbox One it came out on. When I did that one originally, I did one way. And then I was like, well, I'll try it the other way and see how it goes. And it was a completely different story, which I thought was really cool. So it'd be nice if Telltale does more of that stuff, but it kind of does screw them up, I guess, when it comes to the next game. But then they went under, so who knows? Either way.
And now they're back
over. Wasn't Batman one of the ones that got rescued?
I don't know if Batman got
original
that
IP.
Yeah.
Original in the sense that it wasn't something super heavily licensed. Like Wolf Among Us was quote unquote original IP.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. There's something else, but like
No,
Batman wasn't. Borderlands
Yeah.
definitely wasn't original IP.
Don't know about Game of Thrones.
Walking Dead wasn't.
Yeah, Walking Dead had already been bought by Skybound anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they do any more of it. But I still think that's probably the best one that they've done, to be honest. I mean, I still haven't played through Season 4 of The Walking Dead yet. I know you guys have said that it's very, very good. So that'll probably be on the list at some stage.
It turned me on the whole series.
The first chapter.
I didn't really think it was a good series until that 4th season.
Yeah, no, I tried to play it the other day, but when I tried to load up my saves, it broke. So,
okay, that just reminded me of something.
Loading up the saves does not matter because it then goes through the whole thing and says, "This happened. What decision did you make?"
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So
it literally doesn't
really matter. Okay, well in that case, I'll probably just start it fresh then.
Yeah.
Heavy Fire, Red Shadow, as I mentioned, I ground. I did some grinding to finish it over the weekend, and that was an absolute snooze fest.
You know, there's an app for that.
Is there really? Oh, goddamn! Walked right.
Hey, I got one back on him. Yeah.
Oh, I'm usually so good at that. Oh, unbelievable. All right, well, I walked right into that one. Jesus Christ! All right. I've just been doing this for too long. It's past midnight. Also, yeah, it is. Well, for me at least. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. A bit of a blast from the past. I have a 360 session up, or someone had a 360 session up, showed up on my my emails, so I decided to jump on that. And then he messaged me saying, "Oh, hey, I got someone else to do most of the achievements, but I still have one left. Do you want to do it?" And I said, "Well, why not? How hard could it be?" Jesus Christ. how do people do these Easter eggs in these zombie modes? Like, I don't. Well, first of all, I don't understand how people figured this stuff out. But this one was like, okay, shoot this valve, and then get some electric zombies to hit you next to a capacitor, where there's no indication that it'll charge the capacitor. You just have to know that. And then do this challenge where you got to shoot a drone, and then do a challenge where you can only use grenades, and then do a challenge where you can't move, and then do a boss fight, and then do another boss fight, and then do a weird platforming challenge, and then do like a weird button combination thing that I didn't see because I wasn't good enough, so I was just running around in circles while the other guy did something. I don't get it. I mean, apparently it's one of the harder ones that we did, so I'm glad I got it done. But man, I'm apparently, like, on my quest to finish all my achievements, the Call of Duty's going to come up pretty quickly because I have a lot of DLC that I need to do. And man, that's going to suck.
This is one that I need to do as well. So that makes me sad to hear that.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I'm just not very good at zombies to begin with. I know you got to do the whole train thing and that sort of stuff, but you got to have some good reflexes and know what you're doing and have a good plan. So, hey, if anyone's really good at it and want to hit me up, let me know. I've got World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, and Advanced Warfare, all on a 360 to do. I haven't played a COD on the new consoles, and I don't plan to. But yeah, that's going to be a long path for me. Speaking of paths, I played Varengi, or Varengi? I have no idea. Varanye?
Like Kanye.
Like Kanye, right, yeah. Well, like Kanye, this game is absolutely insane. It's like, it makes absolutely no sense. So the game is a point-and-click adventure where you basically just mash on a bunch of stuff where it's like, hey, collect 12 bows around, and you just got to look for them and collect them. If you can't figure it out, you have to solve a little mini-game, and it'll tell you where something is. You just do that each time if you get really stuck. And you can skip all the puzzles. But between every couple of levels, there are these weird cutscenes that are badly translated and voice acted with these static images of people like it's a visual novel. But it turns out that you're a person in a mental hospital who gets into a discussion with some guy, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm having nightmares. And this guy's like, you're a weirdo. And then you're like to him, hey, didn't you kill like 5 people? And he's like, yeah, I played Grand Theft Auto and I killed 2 people. And then I played Mortal Kombat and I killed 2 people. And then I played Super Mario and I killed 1 other person. And then like there's a flying moose head that like tells you that you're a crazy person. And then you get you hire a private detective who goes and finds the game Varanye for you on a PSP and gives it to you because he thinks that beating the final level will bring you out of your psychosis. So then you play the final level of the game. I just like what? What is going on? I don't. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. But the game is easy as hell. There's like all the achievements are story related except for one for getting 50 berries, which they're everywhere. So you can get like 100 of them by the end of the game. It's super easy. You can skip all the puzzles, and you just have to find stuff on a screen. So hey, if you've got it, play it. It takes like 3 hours. Layers of Fear 2. So, I really enjoyed the first game. I didn't enjoy having to play through it so many times, but, it's a still spooky game with a lot of weird surrealist horror and rooms changing when you turn around and jump scares and that sort of stuff. The second game is more of the same, except basically it's just a massive homage to movies. Like, you go through... The idea is that you're an actor who had some horrible experience on a ship, and now you're on another ship, and you're reliving these experiences through movie sets that you've been on, but also horrible things that are happening, like accidents.
Oh, so you're Sean Ashmore?
Actually, kind of. That's actually, yeah. It's actually, yeah, basically that's it. Yeah, like, it's all just references to movies and stuff. Like, there's like a Metropolis level based on the old like 20s, 30s film, the old black and white one. Mm-hmm. And then you like collect movie posters for like slightly tweaked versions of movies. So instead of like Psycho, it's like Shizo or something. But you basically like you do the whole. Yeah, basically, like I don't think they say schizo, but that's kind of what they're implying.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it wrong.
No, I think specifically they try to change it. I think to make it not super offensive.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, yeah, so it's all like there's even like a Fight Club reference in there for where you like. There's one of the achievements you fall down a hole and you blow up a bunch of buildings, and like it's the end scene from Fight Club. There's even a desk chair in the corner. Like it's all just references all the way through. So if you're a big movie buff, it's definitely worth playing. But the cool thing is that you can put it on safe mode, just like you can with like Soma. So you can just be like, hey, I'm just going to walk through and I'll get like a jump scare, but like I can't die, and I'll just look at all the collectibles and then go through the story.
Any reason to die? Like for endings or anything?
Nope, not a single one. You can play through it on safe mode, get all the achievements. Not a single
How
problem.
long does it take?
It's got to do 3. You got to do like 2.5 playthroughs, so it's like an 8 to 10.
Okay.
But
Could make the list towards the end as we go on.
Yeah, but make sure you stick closely to the collectible guide.
Yep.
Because that's pretty much the game. So
Not foot astray.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that because the game, it's one of those games where you walk into a room, you turn around, and suddenly the thing behind you is totally different to what you walked into. So if you miss something, you really miss it.
Yeah.
But it has an interesting kind of like meta narrative to it, and I kind of got it by the end of it. But it's not quite as good as the first game, I don't think. Speaking of psychological stuff, I also played Sea of Solitude, which I know you've played, Kirby, a little while back.
Yeah.
Decent game, lots of collectibles, pretty chill. I mean, the story is a little bit ham-fisted. I feel...
How'd that boy go?
Boy?
The boy in the water. The floating boy.
Yeah, I know. That's like the first joke of the game, right? Is I was looking for a girl and I found a boy.
Yeah.
I think they've worked out fine. Like, I didn't have any trouble with any of them, except in the very last area where you have to jump. You have to go to like 5 of them to raise the water level. Like, I had a bit of trouble with those because there was the damn fish swimming around you. But control-wise, it worked out fine. The collectible guide for it is not the best because it's a more open world kind of thing where they just chuck you into an area, so there's not a lot of reference points or that sort of stuff, so it's easy to miss things. But I feel like a real for saying this, but I kind of get the story it's telling is about depression and isolation and that sort of stuff, but it doesn't really feel like it's doing a lot new, which I know feels bad because obviously the people who made this really felt like they poured their heart and soul into this, but it also feels really derivative in the same kind of things that I've seen in so many other games in the past now, because turns out everyone's depressed and everyone who makes games is overworked and sad and has had hard struggles, so they put that into their game, and a lot of people have had similar experiences. I mean, having said that, I'm really glad that it did get made and that EA really helped push it out there. It's a relatively short game. The achievements are good. The dialogue is decent. But
it's weird. Her accent's weird.
Yeah, like she's German, but her accent is very non-traditional German. It's almost French. Like like it's a very weird European spin to it. But yeah, I don't know. It feels a bit stilted. I feel like if it was because the fact that it's a European team trying to do it all in English, it doesn't always feel very natural. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think they made a good effort, and I think it reminds me a lot of Submerged. There's a lot of water, a lot of driving around in boats and swimming and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's on my list.
Submerged?
Submerged or
Submerged?
So, yes,
also online.
Submerged is pretty good. Nice, easy game. And this is similar sort of vein, but this has a bit more of a narrative to it. It has
keep
a
putting
nice
off
ending.
Submerged because I'm concerned about the not seeing the monster, the guy properly and missing that in my notebook or whatever.
Yeah, that one's a pain. I've made super
I wish
sure.
you didn't say that.
Well, no. Sorry, it was a pain because I was worrying about it all the time, but I actually got it straight away. It was
okay.
When I actually got it, it was easy. But I was worried about the same thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about yet.
Oh, you haven't started at all?
No.
Okay. Don't worry. I think there's one missable achievement. You look at the solution, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I also played through Final Fantasy Pocket HD Edition. Great. Super happy with it. All the best stuff of the game with none of the fluff. It actually was
chibi.
Yeah, it's all very cute, but it also has just they literally just took the voice clips from the main game and just chucked it in there, so it kind of sounds weird coming out of their mouths. The only achievements that are really annoying are the grind for all your abilities, and then there's one for getting the optional characters to land final blows on enemies.
Core.
The core one I didn't have too much trouble with.
Okay.
Like it took me a few tries, but the one for
RNA.
RNA of doing high wind on Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
Man, like I tried that like 50 times and eventually said screw it, I'll come back to it after I finished the game, ran through it again, and it took me 3 or 4 tries and I got it because I was so leveled up that it died so quickly. But I had a bunch of times where it had like no health left, she did the attack, it either missed or it didn't do quite enough damage or all kinds of stuff, it just got so close.
Yeah.
But like that's a decent game. That was really good. Like you could, if you were just playing through the game, you could get it done in maybe 10, 12 hours. But with that grind, to get all that extra stuff and get all the levels and stuff, you're probably looking close to like 20, 22, 23 hours, which is a bit unfortunate. Especially because like there isn't really much other game out there. There's no real side quests or anything like that outside of the main story. So it kind of drags a bit if you're grinding out those levels. I've also been playing through Final Fantasy 15 regular edition for my DLC cleanup. So I've just started that, and I'm very annoyed with this Royal update, with this data log thing where you need to go back to all the chapters you've already finished and look for collectibles. And if you collected the collectibles the first time when you went through the games, they don't count. You have to go back and do them again. So, yeah, not happy about that. And also, I found out that if you use the chapter select and you go back to, like, chapter 13 or 14 or whatever, it resets all your quests. So all your side quests, you need to start them all over again, and your hunts. And it puts the fog back on the map, so you can't fast travel anywhere anymore. You have to drive to every place. So, yeah, I have to say, I'm not having a super great time with it. But most of the achievements, we'll see how it goes. Like, with the DLC, it's usually a case of, like, 90% of the achievements are really simple, or relatively simple, and there's always 1 or 2 in there that are just really, really challenging. So I've got the 4 episodes to do, and then the Royal Pack. Thankfully, we've already done all the Comrade stuff, so that's a big grind taken out of it, which is good. But we'll see how the rest of it goes. And then just one last thing, Light Fairy Tale Episode 1. I don't know, have you played this yet, Chin? I think you picked it up, right?
On my list.
Yeah. So this game is super easy. It is literally just Final Fantasy VII. Like the game is, hey, you live in a city in the underground part of it, and you never see the sky, and there's an upper echelon living above you, and there are a bunch of they're not called soldiers, they're called something else, but it's like
ex-warrior.
Yeah, something like soldier. Yeah, it's like, yeah. And you literally, you are a blonde-haired protagonist, and you have a girl with dark hair with you, who is like your childhood friend. And you you get orbs to stack onto your weapons that give you abilities. It's literally just Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, you've just described Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the game. And for some reason, the game makes you play through it twice. Once as each character, which makes no sense because it's a turn-based battle game where you control both characters. But it's like, hey, you played through the game as this one character. Why don't you play through it as this other character and have slightly different dialogue, but the same battles and everything else?
Is it just like one achievement for doing the other character?
Yep.
Or okay, then that might not happen in my push.
Yeah, I mean it is really short because the thing is the thing that takes time is doing all the optional side stuff with the main character. When you do the second character, I just mainlined it and I got it done in like an hour. So it is, and it is like it's episodic, so it's only the first episode. It is really short, but it gives achievements out like candy. So follow the walkthrough. It's really simple, but yeah, So it's been and then there's a bunch of other stuff of like Radalike games that I got to get my score up to 1250 before the end of the year, but I won't go into all of it. So I'm looking at 7,020 this week.
Okay. Kirby, what were you doing this week?
I did a lot, but a lot of it is not worth talking about. There were 3 worth talking about, and one I've already mentioned everything I wanted to mention. Murder Miners came out end of December.
I've heard bad things about this.
Came out end of well, just wait. You might hear something different. It came out end of December. It was touted as like the #1 rated, highest rated Xbox indie game, whatever, like the ones without achievements. So they ported it over to the Xbox One. Yeah. And it's, if everything goes right, takes probably under an hour. Everything won't go right. Everything won't. So the first, there's 3 achievements you do solo. One for placing 1,000 blocks, because it's like Minecraft, but you can do it pretty quickly. But it's also like Halo, so you have Halo armor and Halo weapons. And 2 for doing I think you can do them not in this mode, but there's a horde mode that it took me like 2 minutes to get the 2 achievements that I needed to do. It was really quick. The rest have to be done in multiplayer in 6+ person lobbies. There is one for winning a capture the flag mode. Takes like 10 seconds. You set it to 1 capture. You spawn on the flag you have to capture for whatever reason, and just run it to the other side and win.
Perfect.
Don't know why you wouldn't spawn on the one you need to defend, but whatever. Win 1 free-for-all match. Set it to 1 kill. Kill, done. Win 10 matches. Same thing, you do a free-for-all, set it to 1 kill. Do that 10 times, not a big deal. Actually, that can be done with a second controller, so that's not too bad. And then basically everything else is in infection mode. So in infection mode, you need to win an infection game with 6 people or more in the lobby. So infection is there is a zombie and the zombie kills. So you can do points, or when everyone is a zombie, the game ends and whoever has the most points wins. I got that as soon as we loaded into the game. So, as soon as we loaded the match, I got that. So, actually, no, I didn't. We'd set it to, for whatever reason, we were trying to figure out how to do it. We set it to basically 1 point wins. So the zombie killed 1 person, and then the game ended because he got a point.
Yep.
And I got an achievement called Sole Survivor for being the last human alive in a 6+ infection game. No one else got it. I was the only one that got it.
Okay.
Didn't make sense. Whatever. There's an achievement called Get Over Here for using, when you're the zombie, you can switch to a tentacle mode, and that pulls them in. It's like using a gun, and you need to do that to 5 people. Except that it doesn't work, of course. And it took me maybe 20 or 30. I was just, at the end, I was just spamming it, and then it triggered, and we don't know why it triggered. It wasn't 5 different people, because I did that. It wasn't the same person 5 times, because we did that. It was, it wasn't even people at that point. Half of them were zombies, because we'd infected them. We were trying to get lots of people to do the grabbing to see if that did anything, and if you can get 6 people together, it's not so bad. It's not the worst thing. Second controllers supposedly will count as the human players, but you can't sign them in as an account. They can only sign in as a guest. It won't work. There's no way to sign in a second controller as a second tag.
Oh, great.
So you're gonna need 6 people. But it's not great. It's like $5. I think that it didn't work day one. You'd play 2 matches and then there would be a memory leak and the game would crash. But it has 500 5-star reviews because the developer in his Discord posted a video of how to rate the game 5 stars from YouTube. So a YouTube video of, we're working on fixing everything. If you've played the game at all, just rate it 5 stars. It'll help us fix the game. And so it's got a ton of 5-star reviews from people saying how amazing it is and stuff. He literally shows you go down here, you click this button, click on the 5 stars, write that it's really awesome, and then click submit. And then you go to the Canadian store and you do the same thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Real scummy. It also advertises a sequel, Murder Miners X, in development. And it has what they call a True Believer Pack. Yeah. True Believer Pack, which get you 2 golden skins for weapons, an additional ability when you're a zombie, and when you load into a match, you've got a little flashing logo saying Believer.
Wow.
For the game costs me $6 Australian. This DLC pack costs $7.50, and it essentially adds nothing to the gameplay. It's just further support. There were a lot of randoms with that flashing logo, a surprising amount of randoms who would join the game before and then we'd kick them, but they all had that flashing logo. Oh, it's like a cult, dude. It was really... Yeah. So don't play it unless you have 6 people, and then do play it and hope you get lucky.
So Alex, you were right. It was bad news.
Favourite way. Yeah, that's my favourite way to play games. Get 6 people together and hope you get lucky.
Yeah. That sounds like a good Saturday night to me.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where to go with that joke, and I decided against it.
I'm a big fan of Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Untitled Goose Game. I have started to kind of pay attention a little bit to the Von Coin stuff, because I figure I'll hoard up the coins until I can actually get them delivered to me, because I'm too lazy to get them sent somewhere else and then sent to me. So the special game for people who have earned a lot of the premium points, which is basically you've earned TA beyond the cap. So you need 25,000 over 6 months. So basically you need about 6,666 TA a month to be a magnate. So, I get those 25,000 in a month. So I'm definitely... so you get extra coin for Goose Game. So I played and beat it. I mean, it's reasonably easy. You just play through it once. Maybe look up a guide for the extra... Actually, I don't even think... No, all the extra things I think are achievements. So there's your to-do list and there's your to-do as well list. And everything on that list are achievements. So basically, you can... Because the to-do as well list are question marked out, so you don't know what they are. So it's like, oh, they're hidden secrets, but they're all achievements. So you look at the achievement list and go, okay, that's what I need to do. And then you have the speed runs afterwards, which is, I think you get 6 or 7 minutes to do everything on the to-do list.
7 minutes
in each
for
area. But it's pretty easy. I think the only one that took me a while was the garden.
Yep, that one took me a bunch. I always messed up the order somehow. Only
because I couldn't... I got to the end... And I'm sitting there waiting for him to go hammering the sign. But I forgot to take down the sign. I thought he just does it. So I'm sitting there in the bushes for like 2 minutes waiting for him to go over to the sign. As he's walking around, he noticed the picnic. So he's going there, picking up his stuff, bringing it back. I'm like, damn it. And then I bumped the sign late in a different run and realised that's how you did it. And it was easy from there. Luckily, you don't need to do the to-do as well items. Because if you had to push that cabbage over to the picnic in that time, nah. Other than that, yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty good game. I enjoyed it. Playing through it a second time because I played it through on my Switch. It's pretty good. And The Adventures of Elena Temple. They added a 1000 Gamerscore DLC title update called the Definitive Edition. And they also added modifiers. So if you've beaten the first dungeon... which you probably should have via the workaround glitch, you'll get the double jump ability. Double jump ability makes it really easy to do the workaround for the second dungeon, so that you can get that done really quick, and that gives you the unlimited ammo ability. Then in the third dungeon that they added, you use the double jump to get out of the map, and you go, I think, to the left, and then you'll get the Rhino armor, which is invincibility, which then... you can just play through the game and you don't die and you have unlimited ammo and you have a double jump, so all the platforming's easy and you have no fear of anything. So it's honestly, if you knew exactly what you're doing, and Sangria's from the Hidden Levels put up a guide, he completed the game in 40 minutes, knowing exactly what to do. Maybe hour and a half. I mean, once you find the scroll that gives you the check mark saying you have gotten everything in this room, there's nothing more to do, then it's super easy. You just look at your map and go, oh, there's not a check mark here, there's something I'm missing. You go to that room and figure out what's going on. Super easy. I think it probably took me just over an hour to finish it up. Easy 2000 gamer score. Highly recommend. It's like $6 maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. Developer is super aware of what Achievement Hunt is like and just piled on the achievements. Very easy.
Great.
But I ended up the week on 9,300 gamer score, and I would expect those big numbers to keep rolling on for a while as I push to 1 million.
Alright, going to be settling into that number 2 spot for a while then, I guess.
Yeah, I would hazard a guess, unless you feel like having a real big week.
We'll see.
Real big fish.
Alright, well, I did play quite a lot of things over the break as well, but again, not much of it worth mentioning. I mentioned Shadow Warrior 2 earlier, so I actually... I've been talking about grinding these orbs for a while, and Valaxy was talking about that in Discord some time ago. So I did a little test the other day, and like Neo was saying with one of the games he played, just chuck on a podcast and, grind it out. So I listened to a 50-minute podcast, and I went up 5% in the grinding the orbs, so it's obviously 6% per hour. I'm currently at 65%. So I've got another, from my maths, that's about 6 hours of grinding. So that's all the orbs and to get all the other achievements. So I'm really salty. I know I say this about every game that does this, but just you've either woefully miscued how much people are going to play your game, or you're doing it just to force morons like me to play your game far longer than there's actual legitimate gameplay. Because the grinding method is load into a level, hopefully you spawn near the boss you need to kill. If not, go back to another area and come back until you do spawn close to it. When you do get the favourable spawn, you run to the boss, kill the boss, go to the menu. Load back in, kill the boss, go to the menu. And it's just that same thing over and over and over again. It's really terrible, and it's really sullying the experience of the game. He even says my favourite line quite a lot when he's, just smoked through a whole group of enemies, and he's like, "Who wants some Wang?" And I used to laugh at that, but I've heard it a lot now. And
maybe you're just not tired of Wang.
I am tired of Wang, and I've got 6 more hours of Wang, so no good. I actually was playing quite a bit of Homefront Revolution. I don't know if I talked about this last podcast, but actually I think I finished the entire first area, and I took over all of the spots. When I was playing it, it actually reminds me a lot of Red Faction Guerrilla in the way that the map kind of works. Is it Red Faction Guerrilla I'm thinking of?
Yeah, sort of.
You go through and you have one area and you have to raise the morale or whatever it is up to 100%. Yeah. And you do that by completing guerrilla-like actions. And that was my memory of playing.
You'll go 8 for Red Faction Guerrilla.
Buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm tired, I missed that one. I know it gets a bad rap for not living up to the expectations, but it's actually... If you don't have any expectations going in, it's actually pretty good. And I've enjoyed the story so far. That might not be the case when I finish the next couple of areas, but it's been pretty engaging and interesting. The gameplay itself is fun without reinventing any wheels or anything. It's, a pretty stock standard first-person shooter. But it is fun. It definitely could have used a bit more time in the oven to finish, because there are parts that are quite rough. And actually, I thought about clipping some of them, and I'm sure when I go back I'll be able to. But you'll look at a bunch of enemies and then they'll literally just disappear, and then another 2 will appear, and then they'll disappear, and 1 will appear, and it's quite glitchy. But anyway, one of the things I spent a lot of time on this holidays and actually started to make me quite angry. Super Lucky's Tale. So I've long since finished the main game, and I was just playing the DLC packs. So there's 2 DLC packs, the Gilly Island and the Guardian Trials. They're it's pretty straightforward for the most part. The Guardian Trials has some difficult levels, extra challenging levels you go through and you beat them, and you get achievements for beating the different kinds of levels. And they're kind of fun and challenging without being dumb. Then you have to play the Wrigglemania stage. which I actually think the Wrigglemania in and of itself is a fun little throwback to, obviously, WrestleMania. And the guy's wearing a championship belt. I think he's supposed to be the Hulk. I'm not really sure, but to play that without being hit one time, it's just totally out of place with the rest of the DLC and just ridiculously difficult. I've got to the 4th stage, I don't know, a handful of times, and I just keep not getting it, and it's just really doing my head in. So I think it was just a really dumb decision to put that achievement in that DLC. But then you play the Gilly Island one, and there's another achievement like that. So the Gilly Island DLC is just more of the main campaign. You play the levels, you get the clovers, you fight the final boss. But the final boss without being hit, this one apparently is the more difficult of the two, and I've got this one. So you fight Lady Meowmalade, I think her name is. It's funny, but it's not funny once you play the level so many times. But it's just everything in it. Each time you fight her, it's random where things happen. So she has a couple of different attacks. She will come down on a disco ball from the roof and spin around with a laser. And the laser will spin, and then it will stop and go back the other way and spin. It's random which way it starts and when it turns. Later on in it, enemies spawn, and they usually, I think they spawn in the same place, I can't remember. But the laser again, and you also have the floor turning to lava, and it flicks between, like, this side's okay, now this side's okay, and it's random. And then the squares that are safe move around. It's just totally random. It's totally crap. And, like, I may have yelled a bunch of swear words when I beat her. But it makes me so mad that these achievements have been added to the game. And then there's obviously the coins. So I'm going to have a real-life microtransaction when I buy a goddamn Cronus Max to finish it, because someone in the Discord said that they could do it. So I'm going to drop $110 getting it, because it is ridiculous.
It's a script for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm at 23,000 coins now, and you get no coins for winning Wrigglemania. So I've got a
Mania.
You should have gone to cash in the bank.
Money in the
Money
bank.
in the bank. Sorry, damn it. Screw up the joke. Damn it.
To be fair, I thought he was trying not to be copyrighted, like Wrigglemania.
Okay.
Cash in the bank.
Yeah, fair enough.
I genuinely thought Matt was smart.
I'm sorry, I haven't watched wrestling since Undertaker through Mankind
Last week.
off Hell in a Cell, 15 feature and announce table.
Floor.
Yeah, that was yeah. Alright, the last game I've been playing, I mentioned it in my goals. I'm working my way through the Dead Island completion. So I've played Dead Island Japanese. I got up at about 6 a.m. on my holidays to meet a bunch of people in the session for the multiplayer achievements. I've just finished the first area so far. I love this game. I still love this game. It's the third time I'm playing a different version of it, and I don't know. I love this game so much.
Yeah, it's alright.
The atmosphere of the game, like when you're walking around a dark area and like you're low on health, and then you hear the scream of the infected. I don't know. It just gets me every time. But
and you're like,
if
Nicole?
If you have Dead Island Japan and you can be a body in my game for 15 minutes to get me towards that 10 people doing so achievement, let me know, because I'd like to do that. But I'm 3,660 Gamerscore for the week. We'll push on. This is episode's getting a bit long in the tooth. There's thankfully not much in the way of sales this week, so we're going to punch through them.
Punch through them.
Yeah, you guys feel like you can jump in at any point if you have anything valuable to add to these, but we'll go through them. So, Draw a Stickman Epic, 55% off, $3.59. Pillar, 60% off at $3.19. Post-War Dreams is 40% off at $7.79. Relentless Hero, 30% off, $6.99. The Shape-Shifting Detective, 40% off at $7.79. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is 60% off at $7.99. And Yet Another Zombie Defense HD, 50% off at $2.49. Anything you guys are thinking of picking up
Well, Matt's not picking up anything.
son.
You know that already. How dare you tempt
There's
him?
so many things I'm thinking. I mean, I would probably pick up Pillar and Post-War Dreams and Restless Hero and Vanishing of Ethan Carter because it's the first time I've really seen them on sale. But unfortunately, I'm not allowed to.
Pillar's been on sale before, so it'll come back.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What about you, Chin?
I bought Post-War Dreams because I know it's one of the worst games of last year. Like, legitimately, it is one of the worst games brought out last year. Yep.
That's a shame. I glanced over that one and thought,
it's only 2 hours
maybe
long.
It's interesting.
That's kind of where I'm at the moment, is I'm not going to be buying stuff on sale anymore just because I like it or I want it. It's going to be, it's a new game and it's quick, or it's a game I don't have that is quick. So that, it's going to, at least until I hit 1 million, there's going to be a lot less, I don't have that and it's on sale, means I have to get it now kind of games.
For now, at least.
Yeah, for the moment. Until I've bought 50 that I know I can fill up that gap to the 1 million from stuff I own, and then the floodgates open again. New games, pretty quiet, obviously, because it's the start of the year. The only one, and I don't even know anything about it, but I just love the idea of it, coming out on Wednesday, is Animal Friends Adventure. Don't know what kind of game it is, know nothing about
like
it,
the name.
but just by the sounds of it, I think I'm going to love it. Especially if it's quick, because then I'll definitely buy it. Otherwise, I'm not going to touch it. Milestones.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
there's
care what
nothing
you want.
for me, really, in this sale. I mean, no surprise, I don't buy that much. Well, I think I buy a lot, but compared to you two, I buy nothing. So, milestones.
Yeah.
Seamus McLimey has reached a milestone of 350,000 Gamerscore.
Seamus.
Black Buff has reached 400,000 Gamerscore. Kush Moose. Why did I say Kush?
Kushmush.
Kush Moose, 400,000 Gamerscore, both of them. That's pretty good. Hatton 90 has reached 175,000 True Achievement score. Retro Chief 1969 is
Wonder when he was
200,000
born.
True Achievement score. Could be. Lord Chabello 13.
Wonder when he was born.
550,000. Oh, damn it, I was just about to make that joke. Lord Chabello 13, 550,000 True Achievement score. Tony Coconuts, this is my favourite milestone. Completion percentage of 69%.
Yeah, no,
4
that's
episodes
good.
late for that.
That's 31 away from 100. That's a good number. 31.
Yep. Mark B has reached a completion percentage of 70%. And Retro Chief 1969 is back with a completion percentage of 71%. Thought that was a bit...
Counting them up.
69, 70, 71, yeah. Enigma Gamer 77 has reached 150 completed games. What the Fug is currently on a 1,000 achievement win streak. Mad Eye Pad Eye is on a 2,500 day achievement win streak.
I'm pretty sure his streak lines up with the bean diving. So I think it might be a day off or something, but I'm pretty sure essentially that streak is that never-ending bean dive.
Right.
Okay.
That's a lot of days to bean dive.
Fair enough. It's a lot. And the last milestone, Nibirios, is now top 5 of the Indiana completed games leaderboard.
That's a board.
That's pretty nice. I don't know how many people are in Indiana, but there's probably a lot.
6.
That's rude. All right. Well, there we go. It's a long
They're all
episode.
highly
Lots to
competitive, though, if
digest.
he's only just broken 5th. Just saying.
So, knives are out. It's a tough fight.
Yeah. You keep saying that. Why? Why do you keep saying that? Why
Someone
do the
needs to be
knives
stabbed.
have to be out?
There's a movie out
Knives
called
Out,
Knives
yeah.
Out. It's guerrilla marketing for that one.
Oh, is it?
Looks pretty good too.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want
Matt
to
got
get
it.
in touch
You
with
didn't.
us, I didn't get it. No. If you want to help us out, you can subscribe on iTunes and the other platforms you listen on. You can leave us a review. We'll read it out on the show. Tell your friends about us. Retweet us on Twitter, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube and Patreon if you desire. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so by email, hello@realgamerscore.com. You can send us a tweet @realgamerscore. The Discord invite link is discord.io/realgamerscore, and the Patreon page can be found at patreon.com/realgamerscore. If you have any questions, you can write into the show, and we will read them out and answer them on the show. Matt, if someone wants to get in touch with you before you fell asleep, how would they do so?
They'd have to be pretty damn quick, because I'm about to pass out live on stream. Hit me up on Neomaster, on the Xbox, on True Achievements, on Discord. You guys know where to find me, and if you don't, figure it out.
And Chid, if someone wanted to figure out where to find you, you can help them.
That was a weird way to say that.
Yeah, and then that's just where you help them.
Okay, if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on Xbox Live, True Achievements, Discord, Mixer, Twitter, Neomaster 2005, Neomaster 2005.
Yeah, send all your complaints to that person.
Yeah. Alex, what about you?
You can find me on True Achievements at Neomaster 47. Okay. I did like that one. Oh, okay. Oh, too good to laugh at that one.
You know what? No,
big smile on your
I'm
face.
out.
Hold
I'm
it
out.
in. Yeah,
I'm
no
out.
worries.
You know what?
Right.
No.
You can find me
Alex,
on...
That's a
Xbox.
real person you're harassing there, Alex.
The difference between you and I is that I know when to stop.
No.
The difference between
see
you
the
and I
line
is
and I
I
go,
make this look good.
Yeah, it'd be silly to cross that line, whereas you... Line!
I don't even talk
I know.
like that.
I don't think I've
is-
ever
that's
heard
just
you even
unnecessary.
pretend to talk
is
like that.
Unnecessary.
I
That is slander.
What voice is that?
alright?
Hold on, like, you go on with the show. I need to think of... What? Where?
It sounds like one of those bomb guys coming after you in full
it's like
full mojo rampage.
or something.
Anyway, you can get in touch with me. You can find me on Xbox, True Achievements, Twitter, and Mixer, Professor Pluto, and Twitch, Professor Pluto 1. All right,
Oh,
there we go.
it's someone doing Woody's voice. No. I'm singing Toy Story.
Okay.
I'm Woody. Hody. I think that's... what is it? Who does that in the first Toy Story?
Twinkie
Who
the
has
dog?
his hat on?
I don't know.
No.
Andy?
One of
Oh,
the
you're talking
toys.
about... I know. You mean... I think it's... You're talking about
I think it might
Ham,
be.
right?
But I don't even think that's the voice I'm thinking of. But that's now the voice that's in my head is what I was imitating. It definitely wasn't when I did it.
Well, I'm really glad that this section is definitely going to be in the podcast and not cut out because it's completely unnecessary. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Have you listened to our podcast? Because I haven't. Does it ever
No.
make sense?
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Point proven. Where were we at?
All right, we're done now.
Checkmate.
We're done now.
atheists.
All right.
Everyone,
73.
see you later.
See you next week.
See ya.
Later on.